This page is the cover of Dreamcast Magazine Volume 31 from October 8, 1999, priced at 420 yen. It's a weekly fastest game show scoop report with an AM show report. The cover highlights the Tokyo Game Show 99 Autumn, promising quick reports and new titles are coming. The cover features artwork of characters likely from the featured games. A prominent title is Black Matrix Advanced, with pre-release detailed strategy mentioned, indicating a strategy guide inside. Other highlighted games on the cover include Phantasy Star Online, Crazy Taxi, Virtual on Oratorio Tangram, DD Planet, Godzilla Generations, Maximum Impact, The Typing of the Dead, F1 World Grand Prix for Dreamcast, Bombastic Bangayo, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Heritage for the Future, Vermilion Desert, Puyo Puyo DA, featuring Elena System, Shenmue, Magical Sword X, and Let's Make a Pro Soccer Club. The left side also mentions game strategy articles including Gather, Round and Round Hot Springs, Let's Make a Professional Baseball Team, Climax Landers, Espionage Entsu, Idle Throne Zestu Tsukurao, and New Japan Pro Wrestling Fighting Soul Legend 4. It also notes reader rankings for all Dreamcast titles and overseas Dreamcast reports. The next page is an advertisement for a Dreamcast horse racing prediction software called Internet Dream Horse 99. It highlights features utilizing the internet for data analysis and predictions to enhance horse race betting. The ad mentions a HSOC 100 million yen Grand Prix competition running from November 11, 1999 to January 1, 2000, suggesting an online component or event associated with the software. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Yumaken 99 Internet, a network-exclusive horse racing prediction software. It announces a campaign from September 15th to October 20th, 1999, with a total prize of 1 million yen. Using a Dream Passport PASS password enters you into a lottery to win 10,000 yen. Purchasing the software also grants a 14-day free trial. The game is set to release on October 21st for 2,800 yen with a monthly fee. This page is the contents page for a Dreamcast magazine. It lists articles such as a report on the Tokyo Game Show 99 Autumn, which will feature new titles. There's a guide for Black Matrix AD Preservation Edition and a report on the Dreamcast's overseas reception, comparing it to the PlayStation 2. An arcade game show report is also featured, alongside a Dreamcast special focusing on expected titles. Game previews include Crazy Taxi, Phantasy Star Online, Cyber Troopers Virtual on Oratorio Tangram, Shenmue, The Typing of the Dead, Godzilla Generations, Maximum Impact, DD Planet, F1 World Grand Prix, Blastwind, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Heritage for the Future, Vermilion Desert, Puyo Puyo DA, featuring Elena System, Magical X, Berserk, and J-League Pro Soccer Club, Otsukuru, and Super Producers. This game index for a magazine lists various Dreamcast titles and magazine sections. The index, organized alphabetically, includes games like Idol Janshi o Tsukuchou, Atsumare, Guru Onsen, Espionagents, F1 World Grand Prix, Gigawing, Kidu Senshi Gundam Gaiden, The Typing of the Dead, Shenmue, Phantasy Star Online, and many others. Digest. Games are categorized by Japanese alphabet sections and include page numbers. Additionally, the index lists numerous recurring magazine sections covering news, release schedules, reviews, reader contributions, anime, cinema, and horoscopes. This page reveals the announcement of Animaster, a new title that was presented on September 17th at a game show event involving Sega, ASC2, and Media Factory. This project is described as a media mix across Dreamcast, handheld game systems, trading cards, and comics. Animaster on Dreamcast is described as an all-round RPG, anima race project game, where players collect and train creatures called anima. The gameplay revolves around training these anima, racing them, and collecting over 200 types. Anima evolve in real time, influenced by seasons, weather, and time. The game emphasizes RPG elements, where players deduce when and where certain anima appear. Discovered anima are recorded in an anima encyclopedia. Multiplayer races for up to 4 players using network capabilities are mentioned. The screenshots show in-game environments, including farm-like areas and racing tracks. It highlights the RPG and racing elements of the game. The game is set for release in spring. This page details a Game to Get campaign at convenience stores where purchasing Dreamcast or PlayStation games before October 31st could win prizes. Prizes included a SoTech micro PC station and a SONY portable mini-disc player. There is a list of Dreamcast games that were part of this campaign. Tokyo Highway Challenge, Professional Baseball Team, Otsukuru, Atsumare, Guru Guru Hot Springs, J-League Professional Soccer Club, Otsukuru, and Shenmue Yokosuka. Another campaign mentioned is at Tsutaya Rental Shops, where you could rent a Dreamcast for free for 7 nights as a free experience. This Dreamcast rental kit included the console, controller, cables, and demo software, including What's Shenmue and Yu Yu Onsen, amongst others. In other news, CESA, Computer Entertainment Software Association, announced the launch of the CISA Network Initiative to promote network gaming and portal sites for PC games. Finally, it's reported that Dead or Alive 2 for Dreamcast is expected to be released in North America first, with Japanese release details yet to be announced. The game is being developed by Team Ninja and is based on the Naomi arcade board. This page highlights several announcements and promotions. The hard section details the Wonder Mexia, a digital camera cartridge for the WonderSwan, releasing in April 2000. The campaign section announces a calendar bonus for the Dreamcast game Marionette Company. The event section covers the Pac-Man Perfect Game Achievement Festa, held on September 15th, celebrating Billy Mitchell's achievement. Finally, the presents section promotes a video release event for Nezumi-Con Bomb Chew Problem, with live events and signed photo giveaways. Various music releases are also briefly mentioned. Alexander Senki is an epic SF fantasy anime based on Alexander the Great, produced by a collaboration of Japanese, Korean, and American studios. Character design is by Peter Chung of Aeon Flux. The project boasts a multi-platform media strategy targeting a global audience. This includes a TV anime series airing on WOWOW and in Korea, a Dreamcast game, Alex Virus Composer, with online functionality, a PC game, novelizations, a music CD, video/DVD releases, character goods like figures and card games, and an official website launching in April 2000. The anime has already screened at the Tokyo Fantastic Film Festival to positive reviews, and an English dubbed version is in development for international release. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Climax Landers, which was released internationally as Time Stalkers. The advertisement highlights the game's randomly generated dungeons, promising an exciting and unpredictable RPG experience no matter how many times you play. The text emphasizes a nonsense or absurd world as a key characteristic of the game's setting, making the adventure interesting. Screenshots from Climax Landers are featured, and the ad announces that the standard edition is now on sale for 5,800 yen. A special edition, including a visual memory, is also available for pre-order at a price of 2,500 yen. The advertisement also promotes Dreamcast Direct as a place to purchase games and introduces the DreamPoint Bank system, where buying Dreamcast software earns you points. This page from Dreamcast Magazine showcases the weekly sales ranking for Dreamcast games, titled Data Station. At number 1 is the unique Petracing Simulator Seaman, described as a popular title even among light users, having held the top spot for 2 consecutive weeks and approaching 20,000 units sold in 2 months since release. In second place is the wrestling game New Japan Pro Wrestling 2 Retsuden 4, noted for its communication battles and ongoing popularity. Soul Calibur takes the 3rd spot, praised for its international popularity and suitability for evening play. 4th place is occupied by Mobile Suit Gundam Gaiden, Colony Falling Ground, an action title highlighting its premium disc bonuses and availability for pre-order until October 10th. The 5th position is held by Professional Baseball Team Wotsukuru, a sports simulation game. Martian successor Nadesico. The Mission ranks 6th, a simulation adventure game emphasizing character affinity as a key gameplay element. Cool Borders, BURRRRN, is in 7th place, a snowboard racing game with an ongoing score attack tournament. 8th place is Shutoku Battle, a racing game highlighted for its long hit status and depth. Air Force Delta takes the 9th position, a flight shooting game recommending players to complete missions on all aircraft. Finally, in 10th place is Dancing Blade Kateni Momotenshi Full Edition, an adventure game anticipating the release of its sequel 2 on September 30th, and suggesting players consider purchasing both versions. The Dreamcast Anticipated Titles Top 30, a reader-voted list, highlights upcoming games. Shenmue, Sega, tops the list with 577 points, praised for its visuals and scale. Grandia 2, Game Arts, takes second place with 420 points, generating excitement for its vibration features. Biohazard Code, Veronica, Capcom, secures third place with 328 points. Weekly Pickup features Phantasy Star Online, Sega, a full-fledged network RPG, and Vermilion Desert, Riverhill Soft, a strategic SRPG. The top P30 also includes titles like D2, Make an X, Rent a Hero No. 1, Cyber Troopers, Virtual-On Oratorio Tangram, SNK vs. Cap KM, and many more across various genres. Outside the top 30 are Bakuretsu Muteki Bangayo and F1 World Grand Prix. The page notes the Tokyo Game Show as a source of excitement for the upcoming games and online gaming. This page showcases two different top game rankings. The first is a Transfer Wish Top 20, a reader's poll of games they most want to see ported to the Dreamcast, featuring titles like Sakura Wars series at number 1, Dead or Alive 2 in second, and Metal Gear Solid at number 3. Other popular titles include Tekken Tag Tournament, Street Fighter 2, Third Strike, and Shin Megami Tensei series. Below this is the Video Game Income Ranking Top 15, listing the top arcade games. Virtua Striker 2 Ver 2000 takes the top spot, followed by Virtua Fighter 3 TB and Tekken Tag Tournament. Also listed are titles such as The King of Fighters 99, Street Fighter 2, Third Strike, and Spike Out Final Edition. There's a weekly pickup section, highlighting Jumbo Safari, described as a wild animal capture action game coming soon in September, and Tetris, also coming soon in October, a puzzle game being released on the Naomi Arcade platform, emphasizing its classic gameplay with new elements and 4-player mode. Screenshots for both games are shown. This page presents a Dreamcast release schedule, showcasing upcoming software and hardware planned from late 1999 and extending into the year 2000. It is divided into sections for software and hardware, peripheral devices, along with a section for MILCD releases. The schedule is presented in a table format, listing the release date, game title, manufacturer, price, genre, compatibility information, and VGA support for each item. The genre abbreviations are clarified at the top, such as ACT for action, RPG for role-playing game, and SPT for sports. Compatibility icons indicate support for items like visual memory, controllers, and other accessories. In the software section, several games are listed with details, including titles like Sonic Adventure International, Shenmue, which was previously known as Project Berkeley, and Ready 2 Rumble Boxing. The hardware section outlines peripheral releases such as controllers and input devices. The MILCD section features music release information. Overall, this page serves as a guide for Dreamcast owners, informing them about the forthcoming games, accessories, and music releases planned for the system. This page is an advertisement for the original soundtrack of the movie Secret on Dreamcast, released on MILCD format, and it will be in stores from October 14th. The advert promotes the soundtrack featuring making gaff scenes from the film and music by Yuzaki Ryudo. It mentions the Dreamcast allows you to watch, listen, and connect to the movie experience, emphasizing the clear sound quality and full-screen video of MILCD, which surpasses VHS. The movie Secret was released to cinemas nationwide from September 25th. The page also lists the cast and crew of the movie, including Ryoko Hirosue and Yukiyoshi Ozawa as main cast, and Yoichi Higashino as original author, Yojiro Takita as director, and Hiroshi Saito as scriptwriter, among others. There are also small images showing scenes from the movie and the soundtrack CD. This page reports from the Tokyo Game Show 99 Autumn, highlighting the strong presence of Dreamcast. The event ran from September 17th to 19th, with the 17th being a business day that attracted 21,434 attendees from the industry. The Sega booth was a major attraction, showcasing upcoming titles. There were stage events including a presentation for Space Channel 5, a music action game produced by Mizuguchi, which was shown to the public for the first time. The main character Ulala and the alien Moro Seijin were popular, especially with female users and children. Naho was mentioned for contributing to the dance choreography. Another Sega stage event was for Guru Guru Onsen, a simple hot spring-themed game featuring guests. Ubisoft also had a booth, presenting Rayman 2. They showcased the game with a movie and gameplay demonstration, announcing a planned release in 2000. The page also features scoops on Dreamcast's latest software. Screenshots reveal information about several games. MILCD is mentioned in relation to a new work, and there is a talk show event for Shenmue. Advanced Dyson Ryaku DC, likely referring to Advanced War Tactics. Dreamcast and Jet Set Radio are also previewed. Crazy Taxi and The Typing of the Dead were playable at the show, generating excitement. This page is covering the Tokyo Game Show event, highlighting Dreamcast's presence. It mentions that the first day of the public opening saw 60,499 visitors. There was a Rent-A-Hero show at the Sega booth, featuring producer Mr. Ishimoto discussing the game's development and showing video messages from staff. The D2 Theater showcased the game D2 with impressive visuals and sound, with presentations on the Sega main stage, showing new footage. Atlas hosted a talk show featuring Okada and Kaneko, the director and designer of Magical Sword X, known internationally as Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage. They discussed key aspects of the game, emphasizing quality improvements. Banpresto's booth featured superhero shows, particularly popular with children, showcasing characters like Kamen Rider and Space Sheriff, creating a lively atmosphere. Virtua Striker 2 was available for free play on NAOMI arcade hardware, with the Dreamcast version footage teased to be shown soon. Network gaming was also a big draw, with demos and promotion of Dreamcast's online capabilities, including a TV commercial featuring Nakamura Tamaki. Other events at the Sega booth included a stage where Sega producers played Mahjong, and a segment related to Dreamcast Magazine Volume 29 that introduced new footage of Eternal Arcadia, known as Skies of Arcadia internationally. Finally, the VM Download Corner offered downloadable content for various titles like Saskatsuku, Bikuriman 2000, and Shenmue, even allowing players to download minigames before their full release. Day 2 of Tokyo Game Show, September 19th, saw a record-breaking 81,933 visitors. Highlights included the Peril Dangerous Creator Battle talk show discussing next-gen hardware and PS2/Dreamcast titles, and a Kids Corner event. The Navi Plaza hosted the Soul Calibur Summer Battle 1999 National Tournament Finals and featured Dreamcast gameplay. Sega announced a Super Producers game promotion and hosted voice actors from the Langrisser series, discussing Langrisser Millennium and performing songs. The Sega booth also showcased voice actress Yoshino Satsuki and director Yamakawa Hitoshi for the upcoming anime Grauen no Torikago. The page included a TGS99 Autumn Snap collection, showcasing crowds, Sega's Moro Starman characters, and the booth's energetic and cool atmosphere. This page showcases the Dreamcast Readers Ranking, Race 35, highlighting the top 24 Dreamcast games as voted by readers. At the top is Soul Calibur, followed by Sega Rally 2 and Sonic Adventure. Other highly ranked titles include The House of the Dead 2 and Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Superheroes. The page also spotlights new entries to the ranking. At rank 37 is Cheki no Miru CD/Cheki, which seems to be a music CD featuring the idol group Cheki. Rank 43 introduces Heartbreak Diaries DPS, another music CD, this time by DPS. Finally, at rank 60 we have Dancing Blade Kate ni Momotenshi, Complete Edition, which is described as an adventure game. A review for Dancing Blade mentions that while skipping and fast-forwarding can be frustrating, the beautiful movies and high-quality animation are worth seeing, and the game is enjoyable for those who own the PlayStation version. The reviewer also notes the charm of the main character Momohime. This page highlights the Dreamcast game Seaman, a unique communication title where players nurture a fish-like creature through voice recognition over 24 days. The game, subtitled Forbidden Pet, emphasizes its engaging gameplay, polished presentation, and realistic pet-raising simulation, drawing players in with its surprising charm. The game's creator expresses appreciation for player dedication and hints at in-game events and rivalries, with a playful threat of revealing secrets. Reader comments reflect the game's realism, cuteness, and challenging Japanese language barrier. The game also draws inspiration from 2001: A Space Odyssey, exploring human-AI interaction themes. Released on July 29, 1999, for 6,800 yen, 7,800 yen for a limited edition. Seaman requires a microphone and focuses on one player. The page also previews highly anticipated upcoming software. This page highlights new game information and Dreamcast peripherals. It features previews for Poppin' Music 2 and Climax Landers, noting Poppin' Music 2's average score is 5.33 and Climax Landers' average score is 8.0. There's also a ranking of Dreamcast peripherals and other items by popularity. Player opinions are shared on games like Space Channel 5 and Siemens. A review for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Tukon Retsuden 4 is included, scoring 7.625. The page also details a reader race contest and a weekly prize draw for an arcade stick and VM. A Japanese magazine reviews 2 Dreamcast games launching September 30th. Black Matrix AD Advance and Dancing Blade. Kate ni Momotaru, 2 Tears of Eden Kanzenban. Black Matrix AD Advance, a tactical RPG by NEC Interchannel, received an average score of 7.66. Reviewers praised its engaging gameplay, strategic depth, character development, and high degree of freedom. Its 2-disc single-player experience is priced at 6,800 yen. Dancing Blade. Kate ni Momotaru, 2 Tears of Eden Kanzenban, an interactive anime adventure from Konami, also scored an average of 7.66. The game, a 2-disc single-player experience priced at 5,800 yen, was lauded for its timing-based gameplay, comedic story, and improved scenario volume. Some noted pacing issues and character graphics. This page features Dreamcast game reviews from Dreamcast Magazine. First up is a review for J-League Pro Soccer Club O Tsukuru, a soccer club management simulation game released on September 30th. Reviewers praise the improvements over previous versions, highlighting the more detailed training options and the enhanced graphics. One reviewer especially enjoys creating custom chants and the visual spectacle. Another reviewer, a photographer, emphasizes the game's realism, particularly the stadiums and player animations, making it a must-buy for soccer enthusiasts. The page also includes comments from female users who find the game accessible and focus on training, and writers who enjoy player development and overcoming challenges. Another review, under guest writers, reiterates the improved training system and better graphics, but notes a slight disappointment at the lack of radical changes and image importing. However, they still recommend it as perfect for long play sessions, especially during autumn evenings. The page then introduces 2 upcoming games, Grauen no Tori Kago Kapitel 1 Foot Kayakus, an internet drama adventure game, set for release on September 30th. This title allows players to experience internet drama on Dreamcast or PC, set in a mysterious world called Grauenheim. Finally, there's Marionette Company, a female robot raising simulation game launching on October 7th. Players can customize and develop a female robot to make her more human-like, focusing on part development and combination. This page is about the Dreamcast launch in North America on September 9, 1999, priced at $199.99. It details the immense excitement and success of the launch, comparing its sales to the movie industry. The article highlights that the Dreamcast sold out quickly and surpassed expectations, even exceeding the launch of the PlayStation in terms of pre-orders. An interview with Sega of America executives reveals their surprise at the scale of the success and their plans to ship 1.5 million units by March 2000. The page lists the 18 launch titles, including Sonic Adventure, Blue Stinger, The House of the Dead 2, Air Force Delta, Aero Dancing, Marvel vs. Capcom, F1 World Grand Prix, Power Stone, Soul Calibur, Sega Sports NFL 2K, Trick Style, Ready to Rumble Boxing, Hydro Thunder, NFL Blitz 2000, Mortal Kombat Gold, Kart Flag to Flag, and TNN Motorsports Hardcore Heat. There's also mention of the Mobile Assault Tour as a promotional event for the console. This Dreamcast Magazine page features an interview with EDGE Magazine reporter Nicola Di Constanzo, discussing the Dreamcast and PlayStation 2's overseas popularity. The interview focuses on the Dreamcast's strong performance in North America, with sales exceeding initial projections. Games like Soul Calibur are highlighted for their widespread appeal. The reporter anticipates Dreamcast's continued success for at least another year. The conversation then shifts to the PS2, noting its impressive graphics, though not a significant leap over Dreamcast. The PS2's major advantage is its DVD playback, a key selling point in the US. However, the PS2 is expected to be considerably more expensive than the Dreamcast. The European market presents challenges for the Dreamcast due to localization needs and a delayed release compared to PlayStation. Despite this, Sega fans are still expected to favor the Dreamcast. The page also advertises an exclusive CD-ROM with playable demos of popular Dreamcast titles like Sonic Adventure and Shenmue. This page is dedicated to the game Crazy Taxi for Dreamcast and Arcade. It's highlighted as a special report. The page focuses on the character Axel, labeled as Character Number 1. Axel is described as a confident and skilled taxi driver who hates losing and is very competitive. He is depicted in a full-body character art image, wearing a Hawaiian shirt, brown trousers, and sneakers. There are screenshots from both the arcade and Dreamcast versions of Crazy Taxi. The arcade screenshot shows gameplay with a ranking of 23rd place and tower records visible in the background, indicating a location in the game. The Dreamcast screenshot shows gameplay with a time of 49 seconds. The text introduces Axel and Crazy Taxi, stating it is being released on Dreamcast. It's mentioned that Crazy Taxi is not a race game, but about picking up customers and getting them to their destinations quickly while earning tips. The game's appeal lies in how well players can entertain their customers with their driving skills to get bigger tips. The text also includes short dialogues from other characters named Gina, BD Joe, and Gus, reacting to Axel's cool demeanor and driving style, suggesting these are also characters within the Crazy Taxi universe. Game details mentioned include release date, January 2000, planned by Sega. Price, 5,800 yen. Genre, drive action game. Players, 1 player. Controller, supports racing controller. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast version of Crazy Taxi. The page highlights the game's core gameplay loop, explaining in a step-by-step guide how to pick up customers, drive them to their destinations, and earn tips by driving fast and drifting. The character BD Joe, identified as character number 2, is introduced, stating his goal is to entertain people and wants taxi drivers to enjoy themselves, suggesting he is a playable character. The page also includes a conversation between Axel and Gina, discussing the progress of the Dreamcast port, noting that the arcade mode is nearly complete and hinting at new features exclusive to the Dreamcast home console version. Axel mentions the game's opening motions are identical to the arcade, and emphasizes the importance of fast delivery and city knowledge to succeed as a Crazy Taxi driver. The screenshots illustrate different gameplay moments, showcasing the fast-paced driving and city environments. This page is about the game Crazy Taxi. It introduces 2 characters, Gina and Gus, as playable drivers. The page details techniques with gameplay tips, explaining Crazy Drift, Crazy Through, and Crazy Jump, moves to earn tips from customers. It mentions that mastering these techniques will impress the gallery and increase customer tips. There is also a section called About DC Mode, which seems to be a discussion with characters Axel, Gina, Joe, and Gus about the Dreamcast version of Crazy Taxi. They discuss the appeal of the Dreamcast version, with Axel mentioning the depth and extended playtime possible in the home console version. Gina expresses excitement about the expansive maps, Joe jokes about getting lost if maps get too big, and Gus mentions the fun of competitive multiplayer. Ginny confidently declares she will always win, and Axel playfully calls her a sore loser. This page announces the latest game in the Phantasy Star series, Phantasy Star Online, developed by Sonic Team. This new title is described as an authentic network RPG and was unveiled at the Tokyo Game Show. Yuji Naka from Sonic Team is featured, presenting the game. Key details highlighted include a scheduled release in $2,000 by Sega, supporting 1 to 4 players online, and compatibility with VGA, VM, keyboard, communication, and arcade sticks. The article emphasizes the game as Sonic Team's 4th major project and a highly anticipated release. Screenshots showcase the game's interface and environments. This page is a preview of the new Phantasy Star game from Sonic Team, emphasizing its advanced 3D graphics and the unique blend of science fiction and fantasy that defines the series. It highlights the SF world setting, where science and magic coexist, mentioning teleportation and cloning technologies within the game. The game features a neon-colored future city and also shows jungle environments. A key feature is the online multiplayer, allowing players globally to connect and adventure together, trade items, and exchange information. The page looks back at the history of the Phantasy Star series, starting from the original 1987 title on Sega Mark II Master System, noting its pioneering SFRPG elements. Screenshots show battle scenes with characters like Elisa, Mayao, Tylon, and Ruts facing monsters and robots in smoothly scrolling dungeons. The game's story is set 1,000 years after previous titles, featuring a world controlled by the mother brain computer, and introduces the popular heroine, Narrated, who is a product of genetic science. The new Phantasy Star is set to take place in AD 2000. Phantasy Star Online, the upcoming Dreamcast title, expands the series' science fiction world with diverse environments. Key features include World 2, showcasing exotic cultures and jungles, and World 3, featuring improved 3D graphics and a dragon enemy. The game is set before Phantasy Star 2, highlighting changes in the Algol system. Offline play allows computer-controlled partners, providing a team experience. A page also reviews past titles. Phantasy Star 2, 1990, on Mega Drive, offered a grand adventure with science fiction and magic. Phantasy Star 2-1, Generations of Doom, 1993, explored the mysteries of the Algol system. The Phantasy Star Collection, 1997, on Sega Saturn, compiled the first 4 games. The page concludes by emphasizing Phantasy Star Online's new online features, promising brave adventurers will meet online. This page highlights the Dreamcast version of Cyber Troopers Virtual On Oratorio Tangram, showcasing its unveiling at the Tokyo Game Show. Communication battles via network play are a key feature, demonstrated at the show using a communication cable, which is also being announced. The Dreamcast twin-stick controller is also revealed, noted to be distinct from the Saturn version in feel and appearance, especially the stick levers, which are now a cool gray color. The game is stated to be 70% complete, with a target release of December 1999 in Japan. It's a 3D versus action game for 12 players, supporting twin sticks, communication cables, rumble packs, and VGA output. The title screen is shown as version 5.4, but there's mention of a possible version 5.45 seen at the game show, and the machine model number has also been updated to version 5.4. Initial impressions of the twin-stick controller are very positive, with good feel and response, and similar button layout to the Saturn version. This page is focused on the Dreamcast game Cyber Troopers Virtual On Oratorio Tangram. It's titled, Varcheroid's movements replicated perfectly on Dreamcast. The article highlights how the Dreamcast version perfectly recreates the arcade experience, showing screenshots taken directly from the latest version debuted at the Tokyo Game Show. It introduces 6 different Varcheroids: HBV502, H8, RAINDEN, described as a high-performance optical weapon-equipped heavy attack unit. It mentions its strong close-range attacks with the right trigger, and how it looks powerful. RVR-87 SBCIN-EFF is described as a stealthy surprise attack unit. It emphasizes its quick movements using side dashes and back rolls, making it a tricky opponent. MBV-707 GTEMJIN is the standard high versatility model now. It mentions its balanced capabilities and usability for anyone, highlighting the weapon input for its sword attack. RVR-33 APHARMD is a super firepower enhancement model. It questions if anything can withstand its firepower, and emphasizes the thrill of continuous attacks. SAV-326D9 GRYSVOK is a multi-purpose firepower-equipped machine. It notes its unique walking weapon depot concept and wide range of weaponry. RVR-39 APHARMB is a super close quarters combat model. It describes its Tonfa attacks, activated by both triggers, being incredibly powerful, and highlights its dynamic movements in close combat. Each Varcheroid section includes a screenshot of the game in action and a brief description of its fighting style and characteristics. The page generally promotes the Dreamcast version of Virtual On Oratorio Tangram as a faithful and high-quality port of the arcade game. This page is a preview for Cyber Troopers Virtual On Oratorio Tangram MSBS Ver.5.4 on Dreamcast, highlighting the upcoming release date and price announcement in the next Dreamcast Magazine issue. The page showcases 5 different Varcheroids. First, the XBV-819 TR4 BALBADOS, described as a difficult-to-pilot multifunction model with ERL control for advanced players. Next is the RVR-42 CYPER, a high-mobility model with powerful attack strength. Then, the SGV-417I Angelan, an ice-snow magic-type god-equipped machine specializing in ranged attacks. Following is the RVR-14 Fei Yen KN, another high-mobility and transformable machine, emphasized for its speed and cuteness. Lastly, the RVR-68 DORDRAY, a super heavy armor assault type machine with powerful drill attacks. A checkpoint section discusses close combat in Vertellen 5.4, noting improvements and depth compared to the arcade version and encouraging players to practice in the arcade version in preparation for the Dreamcast release. The next page is a special report announcing the Shenmue Passport as the fourth GDROM disc included with Shenmue. This communication software, reaching 95% completion, utilizes the Dreamcast's online capabilities to deliver various services and information to players. The page highlights that at the Tokyo Game Show, the Shenmue booth showcased talk shows with voice actors and actresses, alongside unveiling unreleased game scenes. Shenmue Passport itself expands the game's world through network features, allowing players to register game scores for national rankings and access the Board of Hope for in-game advice. A new feature, Gacha Gacha, is also introduced. These capsule toy vending machines are found throughout the game's world, offering collectible items, including rare figurines of Sega characters. Players can view their collected items through the collection window in the game's menu. Yu Suzuki is quoted discussing the presentation of Shenmue Passport at the game show, and features within it such as a theater mode and F355 challenge data. Finally, the page lists the release date of Shenmue Chapter 1 Yokosuka for October 28th, and mentions Shenmue Chapter 2, tentative title, with a release date yet to be determined. This page is a preview for the highly anticipated Dreamcast title, Shenmue. It highlights the incredibly detailed recreation of Yokosuka's Dobuita Street within the game. The developers used aerial photography and extensive reference materials to create a world that surpasses reality. The page details several key locations players can explore. Our Heartbeats is showcased as a place with a mature atmosphere, featuring music from a jukebox. The Tomato Mart convenience store, previously only in the trial version, will be fully accessible in the main game, allowing players to purchase items like batteries, matches, and cat food. The game also re-examines the Kawakawa original escape route from the trial version, revealing previously inaccessible areas and various shops. Hirata Shoten, the tobacco shop run by Haru-san, is also featured, showing her performing tasks like sweeping and arranging storefront displays, illustrating the everyday life of the town's inhabitants. The page emphasizes the large number of characters players will encounter, stating that over 200 individuals populate the game world of Dobuita Street and the surrounding areas, bringing the world of Shenmue to life with a dense population. The bottom of the page shows portraits of many of these characters with their names, highlighting the depth of the social interactions players can experience. This preview of the Dreamcast game, Shenmue, focuses on story development. The narrative begins after Iwao Hazuki's murder, with Ryo Hazuki grappling with complex emotions towards his master, driven by a desire for revenge against Lan Di. The gameplay shifts to free roam investigation in a residential area where Ryo questions residents for clues about the incident, as demonstrated by screenshots of him interviewing locals. Important dialogue is tracked via a memo and pen icon. The preview hints at upcoming features, including the free battle system and Shenmue Passport, to be detailed in the next issue. The cast of characters, including named individuals and generic townspeople, is also listed, and the release date is noted as 34 days away. This page is focused on the typing of the dead for Dreamcast and Naomi Arcade. It's described as a keyboard zombie purge game, essentially a typing training game. The Dreamcast version is slated for release in 2000, while the arcade version is expected in 1999. It highlights the two-player cooperative mode. The page explains the basic gameplay. Players type words displayed on screen to defeat zombies. Accuracy is key, as mistakes can lead to damage. The difficulty changes based on word length, with examples given for easy difficulty using the word Raisokyu, interest, profit, and hard difficulty using ATARAS, 2, MESSEEJ, IHAOAZUK, ARIS, ITEOR, IMASENN. We haven't received a new message. The developers express excitement about bringing The House of the Dead 2 to the keyboard format, emphasizing that zombies are defeated with words. They suggest that even difficult enemies can be handled with typing skills and encourage players to become keyboard boarders from today. The Dreamcast version will feature an original mode in addition to the arcade mode, offering tutorial and training modes for keyboard practice. This page announces Godzilla Generations Maximum Impact for the Sega Dreamcast. Scheduled for release in December as an action game for one player, supporting arcade sticks and VGA output. The game promises large monster battles and impressive graphics. It's described as allowing players to become Godzilla and rampage through Japanese cities, emphasizing realism in destruction and monster battles. King Ghidorah is confirmed as an opponent. The page also mentions that December is the month a new Godzilla movie is released. Godzilla 2000 Millennium, the 22nd film in the series, with a new Godzilla design appearing in the movie and potentially in the game. This page is a preview of the Dreamcast Network party battle game called DD Planet. It emphasizes that it's a hot multiplayer game where you can enjoy survival battles over a network. It's described as a simple and easy-to-play network battle game for everyone from kids to adults. You can play with many friends, even those you don't know, via the internet. The game is a fixed-screen battle where up to 4 players can participate. The controls are simple, using direction buttons to aim and fire missiles, and L/R triggers to move left and right to dodge enemy missiles. If you get a missile into the black hole, you get a bonus. There are performance-oriented characters with different weapon capabilities. DD Planet was showcased at the Tokyo Game Show '99 Autumn. People who played the demo commented that it was simple yet absorbing and easy to control. The article also hints at happening events and potential game-changing moments during gameplay, asking, what are these? It's scheduled for release in December by Sega and supports 1 to 4 players, VM, vibration pack, and network communication. This page features a preview of F1 World Grand Prix for Dreamcast. The page announces that the F1 Circus is moving to Dreamcast, highlighting this game as the first authentic Formula One title to arrive on the system, which fans have eagerly awaited. It's presented as a special urgent report, announcing a November release from Video System at a price of 5,800 yen. The game supports 1 to 2 players and is compatible with racing controllers, rumble packs, VGA output, and VMUs. The preview emphasizes the high-quality graphics and smooth 60 FPS frame rate achieved thanks to the Dreamcast's power. It boasts a complete physics simulation for realistic car handling, stating this level of realism is unmatched by other consoles. While acknowledging there is an N64 version of the same name, the article claims this Dreamcast version is not a simple port, but a completely original title that surpasses the N64 version in quality. Screenshots showcase in-game racing action and pit stop scenes. The next page features F1 World Grand Prix for Dreamcast. It highlights that teams and drivers are based on 98 season data. The page details team and driver selection menus, with screenshots showing McLaren team and driver Mika Hakkinen as examples. It also explains the 4 game modes available. Single race for quick races, championship mode encompassing the full 16 races of the 98 season, time attack mode with telemetry data and ghost car features, and match race for 2-player split screen versus mode, with options for vertical or horizontal screen split. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game, F1 World Grand Prix. The article emphasizes the game's realism, stating it's a step above other F1 games, perfectly recreating courses with details like signboard positions and TV camera angles using official data. It highlights the onboard camera view as truly realistic. The game features all 16 Grand Prix circuits, including Australia GP, Albert Park, Brazil GP, Interlagos, Argentina GP, Buenos Aires, San Marino GP, Imola, Spain GP, Barcelona, Monaco GP, Monte Carlo, Canada GP, Montreal, France GP, Silverstone, Austria GP, A1 Ring, Germany GP, Hockenheim, Belgium GP, Spa-Francorchamps, Hungary GP, Hungaroring, Italy GP, Monza, Luxembourg GP, Nürburgring, and Japan GP. The preview points out the realistic recreation of circuits like France's Magny-Cours, with its high-speed sections and tight corners, and the UK's Silverstone. It mentions the TV-style replay feature, allowing players to relive races from various camera angles. Detailed car settings are also a feature, allowing for adjustments to suspension, brakes, gear ratios, tire compound, and fuel load. Finally, the game is said to support vibration feedback for a more immersive experience, especially when going off-course or during machine trouble, and is best enjoyed with a racing controller. This page is a Dreamcast special report showcasing Treasure's new shooter game, Explosive Weapon, Invincible Bomber, Bakuretsu Muteki Bangayo. It is described as a thrilling and exhilarating 2D shooting game meant to relieve stress. The text highlights Treasure's history of creating hit shooting games on Mega Drive and Saturn, and positions Bangai-O as their latest offering for the Dreamcast. The game is set to be released in December, price undetermined, and is for one player. It emphasizes the high performance of the Dreamcast to deliver intense 2D shooting action with overwhelming mecha, missiles, and explosions. The game is described as being made almost on a whim, but with the intention to be incredibly fun and engaging, focusing on a crazy and exciting world. The page includes screenshots of the game showing gameplay with robots and explosions. This page is a special interview feature on Explosive Invincible Bangai-O, known internationally as Bangai-O. The interview explores the game's development in a period where 3D games were becoming dominant, and why the developers chose to create a 2D shooting game. The interview reveals that the game started as a personal project driven by a love for classic shooting games. The initial concept was to create a game with overwhelming numbers of bullets and homing missiles. It was a small-scale, almost guerrilla development effort, beginning with the idea of a shooting game and becoming more elaborate as they experimented, including adding homing bullets. The interview mentions the game's initial working title was Invincible Robo 893, Yakuza. The page introduces the two main characters, Riki Makishi and Mame Makishi, siblings who are the pilots of Bangai-O. Riki is described as a hot-blooded, athletic youth, while Mamami is his older sister who is energetic and somewhat spoiled. The story is set in a future where a criminal organization called SF Tiger Shark Gang is causing trouble, and Riki and Mami, piloting their mecha, fight for justice. The page also includes screenshots from the game showing intense shooting action. Bangai-O is a challenging, 8-directional shooting game where players control a mech battling numerous enemies and bullets. The gameplay involves navigating stages, defeating bosses, and collecting power-ups. Players must strategically utilize white player bullets and red enemy bullets to avoid damage, which only occurs upon being hit by enemy fire. Players can also launch missiles and a powerful, all-directional bomb. 2 shot types are available: homing shots for enemy takedown and bound shots, which bounce off walls for strategic attacks and defense. The game's design and programming is led by Yaemon, while Kabufu is responsible for the world and character designs. The game's initial concept revolved around revenge, with the name Bangai-O chosen after a team selection process. The game was developed by Treasure, a team of ex-major manufacturer creators, in 1992. This page is a special interview feature for the game Explosive Muteki Bangai-O, also known as Bangai-O internationally. The article delves into the game's irregular world, highlighting its unique and chaotic nature. The developers discussed the game's concept, mentioning that the characters and world are designed to be over-the-top and strange. The page showcases screenshots of the gameplay and introduces some of the unique characters players will encounter. Character profiles are presented for figures like Tasogare Keiji, a detective; Tenpira no Sabu, a thug; Samaran Sensei, a teacher; Hashioka Kensetsu, a construction company owner; Core Zo, part of an energy management system; and Nisei Gai, a rental bodyguard. These descriptions hint at the quirky and unusual characters inhabiting the game world. The interview sections feature discussions about the game's development process, the inspiration behind its chaotic style, and the design philosophy. There's talk about the game's setting in space and on planets, emphasizing the diverse stages players will explore. Other sections mention features like a retro-style display option, a mysterious name entry system, and in-game hints and tips. The overall tone suggests a focus on the game's bizarre humor and unconventional gameplay. The next page is a special interview about the Dreamcast game Bangai-O, focusing on the game's mechanics and design choices. The interview discusses the origin of fruits as point items, which was apparently suggested spontaneously by Yayama-san, who said, "Let's pick up oranges." The all-directional shot, a key feature, is described as a sure-kill move activated with the R trigger, becoming more powerful when the player is in a pinch, launching a barrage of missiles. A counter mechanic is also mentioned, where successful counters eliminate surrounding enemy bullets and unleash hundreds of missiles. The page also details the Bangai-O-style fruit values, listing fruits like oranges, apples, bananas, pineapples, and watermelons with varying point values, suggesting larger fruits give more points. It mentions that fruits are space fruits and are considered valuable, with the Tiger Troop, enemies, hoarding them. Further sections highlight the stage design, noting labyrinth-like structures and various blocks, including blocks that react to bullets and explode. The interview touches on the Yakuza car, described as very tough, even tougher than buildings, and a high-ranking object within the game's scenery. The final part of the page shows a scoring table, illustrating potential bonus points for achievements like completing stages without taking damage and destroying all objects. This page covers various aspects of the N64 version of Bangai-O. It highlights secrets within the game and encourages players to try it, noting design differences from the Dreamcast version. There's a manga strip by Kabuto-sensei, offering humorous content. An interview with Kabuto-sensei discusses game development, emphasizing a stage-independence design philosophy and the experimental nature of Bangai-O. Meikosen's Like This Person features in-game secrets, showcased through character dialogues. Finally, there's a call for fan submissions of Bangai-O-related stories, both real and fictional, to Meikosen by September 27th. The next page is a special report on the Dreamcast version of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Heritage for the Future. It highlights that the Dreamcast version is based on the latest arcade game and will feature additional content. The game, developed by Capcom, is scheduled for release in November with an undecided price point. It supports 1 to 2 players in versus battles and is compatible with arcade sticks and the Puru Puru Pack, Rumble Pack. The page features artwork of Jotaro and Star Platinum and a screenshot from the game showing in-game action, emphasizing that this is the final version of the game. The next page reveals the Dreamcast version of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Heritage for the Future, proclaiming it to be the ultimate complete version of the game. It highlights that the Dreamcast version is a perfect port of the arcade game, utilizing the same smooth animation patterns thanks to the CP System 2i board. The page mentions new elements exclusive to the home console version and new characters being introduced in the Dreamcast edition. The article details 2 game modes: Story Mode, which follows the plot of Part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where Jotaro and his companions journey to Egypt to defeat Dio, and Challenge Mode, described as a survival mode where players face consecutive enemies with health recovery features. The article also questions whether the Dreamcast version will feature a Super Story Mode, like the PlayStation version. Screenshots are shown for both modes, demonstrating the faithful recreation of the arcade graphics. The Dreamcast version of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Heritage for the Future boasts an expanded roster, totaling 18 playable stand users. Several characters previously absent or CPU-controlled in the arcade release are now playable. These include Whole Horse, utilizing his Emperor stand, Vanilla Ice, with his Cream stand, Anubis-possessed Polnareff, Pet Shop, the aerial Horus stand user, Mariah with her Bastet Goddess stand, Death 13, a Dream-based stand, and Endul, who uses the Geb stand to manipulate water. The page also hints at additional, unrevealed content beyond what is immediately shown, teasing 2 characters not in screenshots and suggesting playable characters previously exclusive to CPU battles. This page highlights the Dreamcast game JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Heritage for the Future. It's touted as the ultimate version of the JoJo game. The page focuses on the stand system, explaining that stands are spiritual entities that grant special powers and protect their users, and are unique to stand users. It mentions that previous characters are still in the game, but with added new special moves. Screenshots showcase the gameplay and character matchups. Character panels detail fighters like Jotaro Kujo with Star Platinum, Mohammed Avdal with Magician's Red, Joseph Joestar with Hermit Purple, Jean-Pierre Polnareff with Silver Chariots, Noriaki Kakyoin with Hierophant Green, and Iggy with the Fool. Villains such as Alessi with Sethan, Chaka with Anubis, Devo the Cursed with Ebony Devil, Midler with High Priestess, and Dio with the World are also featured. Each character panel describes their stand's abilities. The bottom right corner of the page emphasizes Time Stop as a powerful ability in the game. This page is a Dreamcast special report for the game Vermilion Desert by Riverhill Soft. It is advertised as a tense and exciting team strategy simulation RPG, their second Dreamcast title after World Neverland Plus. The game is scheduled for release in December and priced at 5,800 yen. The page features screenshots showing mechs and soldiers, and a portrait of the main character who is described as looking troubled with a mysterious background, suggesting a story filled with riddles. Riverhill Soft is stated to be challenging the world with this title. This page is about the game Vermilion Desert, a real-time simulation game for Dreamcast set in a desert world where you command a special mechanized infantry unit called Silver Fox. The page highlights the game's strategic depth, focusing on pre-battle briefings, team formation, and equipment selection. The gameplay emphasizes tactical decision-making, where players plan strategies and customize teams, but the actual battles are carried out by the teams based on their own judgment in real time. Screenshots show in-game action and menu screens related to mission flow, team editing, weapon customization, and formation editing, illustrating the game's focus on planning and unit management. The text points out that the player determines the operation routes for up to 5 teams, taking into account enemy positions and mission objectives during briefings, emphasizing the importance of strategic preparation and tactical execution. This page is a Dreamcast special feature, focusing on the game Vermilion Desert. The page highlights the strategic gameplay, where players set up routes and team formations before missions begin. It emphasizes that accurate judgment is key to victory. The game offers a variety of missions, including night battles. Vermilion Desert is presented as a very realistic game set in a fictional world. The game has detailed world settings and focuses on the conflict between 2 factions. The page introduces the Independent Allied Forces faction and several characters within it. His characters are Makratian, the platoon leader, Zone Duke, a former raid driver, Bosco Bitch, a former SWAT team member, Lydrian of the Dangle clan, Stan Wood, skilled with machines and traps, and Reyna, Cleo's childhood friend. Also shown are Roy Seadoll, the main character, and Cleo, a mysterious woman. This page introduces Vermilion Desert, a Dreamcast game focusing on a deep human drama storyline with characters haunted by lost memories, centered around a military conflict between the Algana Kingdom and neutral forces. The game emphasizes exciting in-battle events that contribute significantly to the narrative, revealing the overarching story gradually. These events can also reward players with new weaponry, encouraging thorough exploration during missions. Character development is detailed, with level UPS achieved not just through combat, but also through actions in battle and post-mission training, highlighting the importance of soldier compatibility. The game leverages Dreamcast's online capabilities with World Neverland Plus, suggesting features like character and mail exchange and the ability to download rare weapons. The game world is richly detailed, with attention given to the Algana Kingdom, a powerful empire led by King Oma Khan, and featuring characters like the righteous military leader Osmodark, the scheming strategist Mies Mars, the cruel executioner Garzola, the logistics officer Muir Wyatt, and the ruthless defense commander Ramsark. The neutral allied islands are also mentioned as a developing faction amidst the conflicts. Technologically, the game features genetic computers, brain-integrated computers widely used, and silver foxes, a crucial military force for the Free Federation in a world where advanced weaponry like missiles is surprisingly ineffective. This page is a special report for the Dreamcast game Puyo Puyo DA, featuring Elena System. It highlights the game as a brand new Puyo Puyo title for the Dreamcast, emphasizing it as a 3D dance game featuring familiar characters. It mentions the game's unveiling at the AM Show and Game Show as an arcade release and also a Dreamcast version. The developer is Compile, and it is slated for release this winter with the price yet to be determined. It is a 3D dance game, compatible with peripherals, and supports 12 players. The article mentions that Compile presented 3 new titles at the Game Show, including other platforms, but the main focus is Puyo Puyo DA. This page is showcasing Puyo Puyo DA, featuring Elena System, a Dreamcast dance game. It's described as the newest game in the Puyo Puyo series for the Dreamcast, where Puyo Puyo characters are now polygons and dance to a variety of music genres like disco. The page highlights that the controls and rules are simple, focusing on rhythmically pressing buttons in time, with the arrows and star icons appearing on screen to make the characters dance and eliminate Puyo. If you succeed in eliminating Puyo well, you send Ojama Puyo to your opponent. The game features character selection, and screenshots display gameplay with characters like Arle and Scherzo. The text emphasizes the cute dance of the characters and the fun of the game. The game appears to be a dance battle, where the player with fewer Puyo remaining at the end of the song wins. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game Elena System, which is a rhythm-action dance game focusing on versus battles. It highlights both single-player Puyo DA alone mode against the CPU and the 2-player Puyo DA for 2 mode. In single-player mode, players dance to different stages and music, following on-screen step prompts and sending Ojama Puyo to the opponent. The goal is to have fewer Ojama Puyo than the CPU at the end of the song to clear the stage. 2-player mode focuses on competitive dancing, where players perform steps together, aiming for high scores and sending ojamapuyo to each other. Ad-lib steps and special dance patterns are key to gaining an advantage. The game features various stages, including Broadway and Restaurant Clock, each with unique gimmicks and cute characters. Special phrases and ad-lib steps can lead to a one-shot reversal in battles. The Elena system title is explained as being related to the 1994 game Broadway Legend Elena, from Disc Station Volume 4. The original game involved inputting directions based on a teacher's dance steps. This new game is presented as a rhythmic and enjoyable evolution of that system, with Elena returning as the main character. Finally, there is a brief explanation of Disc Station as a software magazine for PC launched in 1988, featuring games, comics, and other content, which is still ongoing. The screenshots showcase in-game dance battles with characters like Elena, Arle, Minotaur, and Scherzo, along with button prompts and scores. This page previews the Dreamcast game Puyo Puyo Da, featuring the Elena system, highlighting the return of familiar characters from the Puyo Puyo series in polygon graphics. Characters like the dark magic swordsman Scherzo, portrayed as an energetic Latin-style character, and Satan, always with Arcole and setting up traps, are featured, with Satan appearing in a see-through tank top. Lilith, described as Satan's older sister, is noted for her developed physique and energetic personality, while Minotauros, loyal to Rulu, is showcasing a flamboyant dance. Tsuketo Dara, the tea-loving character aiming to be the strongest, is anticipated to perform breakdancing. Okedo Tara is also mentioned, surprisingly appearing in a ballet leotard to display a gorgeous dance. The page emphasizes the active roles of these well-known characters within the game, and includes screenshots from the arcade version of Puyo Puyo Da. This page announces the release date for the Dreamcast game Maken X for November 25th. The article previews a new stage moving from India to Moscow. The story involves the protagonist chasing their kidnapped father and facing challenges in Moscow. The article introduces a new character named Shaja, described as a popular Indian star, who is revealed to be a boss character in the India stage. It's mentioned that the path from India to Moscow might not be straightforward, suggesting branching storylines. The game is presented as an adventure title and is priced at 6,800 yen. This page showcases the Sega Dreamcast game Maken X. It appears to be a preview focusing on the Moscow stage and introduces a new enemy type from the Songyukai faction, a bazooka-wielding soldier. The article highlights changes to the action screen layout, noting that there is more information displayed. It explains new elements like image points, which appear as small items when defeating enemies, and are related to Brainjack system and ranking, impacting gameplay. The life gauge has been moved to the top of the screen, and the special attack gauge is now positioned directly below it for better readability. The lock-on mark remains similar to previous designs, showing enemy health and changing color to indicate when an enemy is defeated. Finally, the BJ rank gauge in the top right corner is explained as accumulating image points and changing the player's rank, which affects the availability of brainjacking abilities. This page announces the release date for the Dreamcast game Maken X as November 25th. The page focuses on a new character, the sword-sealing warrior named Keiichi, who will be encountered in Moscow. The text describes a scenario where Keiichi is in Moscow searching for his kidnapped father and encounters Kadi, whose intentions are unclear, asking if she will be an enemy or an ally. Keiichi is presented as a leader of the sword-sealing warriors, and her purpose and background are shrouded in mystery. The article hints at a conflict between Kei and Kati, emphasizing Kei's determination to save his father. Screenshots show in-game scenes with Kati and Kei, further illustrating the encounter and highlighting the mystery surrounding Kati's role in the story. This page showcases a preview for the game X, or Maken X. It highlights new event scenes where character personalities are revealed through dialogue. Key and Ku witness a Maken Kiss House, or Demon Sword manifestation. The game focuses on character interactions, and the plot revolves around the awakening key being genetics. The page also unveils the system screens for the first time, showcasing the world map that connects stages. Menus like Save Slowed, Status History, People/Area Others, and Brainjack Stage Start are introduced. The game features a database to review maps, characters, and keywords encountered, allowing players to deepen their understanding of the story. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast version of the game Pro Soccer Club Create, known as Saskatsuku DC in Japan. The game is a sports training simulation where you manage your own soccer club, aiming to become the top club in Japan and eventually the world. You start in the J2 League, and need to win to be promoted to J1. The page highlights features like club management, player development, and even acting as the team coach. It mentions that the game includes international cups, where you can compete against clubs worldwide. The advertisement also lists conditions for being dismissed as coach, such as not being able to field enough players, bankruptcy, or poor team performance, specifically finishing 11th or 12th in J2. The game is set to be released on September 30th, priced at 6,800 yen, and is compatible with keyboard and VGA. Dice icons are shown, likely representing random events or game mechanics. The special report section indicates this page contains organized information and new details about the highly anticipated game, just before its release. The next page is a guide on how to play J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru, a soccer club management simulation game. It details key aspects of managing a J-League soccer club within the game. The guide covers topics such as the role of the manager as a business owner, emphasizing club stability, and efficient operations. It explains facility management, including building and upgrading clubhouses and stadiums, managing finances through income calculations, and investing in the hometown to boost fan support. Personnel management, player negotiations, scouting, and the player's role as coach are also detailed, covering training instructions, match tactics, and communication with players to maintain morale and team cohesion. The page gives an overview of how to successfully run a J-League club in the game by handling various managerial tasks effectively. This page of Dreamcast Magazine is all about J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru, known internationally in the series as Sega Worldwide Soccer Manager. It highlights the exciting and tense match gameplay, emphasizing that you can't take your eyes off the action until the final whistle. The game features individual commentators, such as Kazushi Kimura, Takanori Mizunuma, and Michelle Miyazawa, who bring their own unique flavor to each match commentary. If you're short on time, a result-only mode allows you to skip the full match scenes and just see the final result. The game offers a variety of competitions, ranging from the J-League structure of Division 1 and 2, with promotion and relegation, to world-level tournaments, and even the possibility of managing the national team if your players perform well enough. The page details the point system used in the leagues and how the divisions are structured. The next page is about player preparation in J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru, which translates to, "Let's make a J-League Pro Soccer Club." It highlights that a player's role involves perfect preparation and sending players out onto the field ready for action. The page details key elements for success in the game, starting with setting up the right formation based on the opponent and match conditions. It emphasizes selecting the right starting players, taking into account their condition, and creating a strategy, noting that changing tactics mid-game is crucial. The importance of scouting the opponent team to understand their strengths and weaknesses is also stressed. Screenshots show in-game menus for team setup, strategy selection, and match commentary, demonstrating features like player placement, stamina management, and tactical instructions during the game. Tournaments featured include the J-League Cup, New Year Cup, World Sports Games, and International Cup, each offering different challenges and rewards. The page also mentions the Victory Premium system as a bonus for winning games to motivate players and improve team morale, and warns about player injuries and substitutions. It concludes with advice about issuing instructions during matches like observe, attack, all-out attack, defend, and change tactics to manage the flow of the game and react to situations. This page is about the Dreamcast version of a soccer game, highlighting its immersive and novel features that surpass the Saturn version. The article emphasizes the unpredictable and exciting gameplay scenarios, ensuring each match feels fresh and engaging. A significant feature is the in-depth and emotionally charged commentary, which is also present during training sessions, enhancing the player's immersion. The game boasts improved AI opponents, requiring strategic thinking and tactical adjustments to succeed. Interceptions are presented as critical moments that can quickly turn the tide of a match, leading to counterattacks. Visual presentation is a key focus, with detailed animations and stadium environments contributing to the realistic match atmosphere. A unique element is how stadium appearances change based on the club's status. For example, stadiums are fuller when a club is in a higher league with more popularity, reflecting their in-game success. Player personalities are also reflected in the game, especially in foul situations. Some players are portrayed as accepting fouls with grace, while others are shown to be argumentative, disputing calls and protesting to the referee, adding another layer of realism to the simulation. This level of detail extends to stadium changes tied to club progression, a feature described in relation to Sega Worldwide Soccer Manager 2, Saskatsuku 2, highlighting how the game world dynamically responds to the player's achievements. This page highlights the Dreamcast version of the soccer club management simulation game, J-League Pro Soccer Club o Tsukuru, often referred to as Saskatsuku. It emphasizes the enhanced sports news feature, providing richer content within the game to keep players informed. The page details several key aspects of the game. The league rankings section shows how players can monitor their team's standing and analyze performance using data like total points and goal difference. The evaluation ranking section displays player rankings based on performance, indicating that developing highly narrated players is crucial for club success. Match results are also presented, showcasing recent game scores from the J2 League. The Manager's Report feature is described as a monthly update, offering insights into league positions and information on overseas players for potential scouting. The TV station sets section reveals that the game's broadcast visuals evolve based on team performance, becoming more elaborate as the player's club achieves greater success. Player substitutions are presented with special in-game cinematics, particularly when star players are brought onto the field, adding drama to the matches. Finally, goal scenes are depicted as emotional and dynamic, featuring player celebrations and replays from multiple angles, enhancing the excitement of scoring. Saskatsuku presents the life of a club manager with both triumphs and setbacks. Events range from injuries, which can sideline players for months or even end careers, to player slumps impacting performance. Managers must manage player fatigue, adjust training, and avoid rushing injured players back too soon. Retirement negotiations with older players and scouting new talent are also key. Beyond negative events, the game also features player development through youth selection and strategic training policies. Successful managers will navigate player selection, build a deep squad, and utilize scouting reports. Positive events like hot spring completion and festival participation boost fan support and community relations. Overall, the game offers a dynamic experience with diverse scenarios and player interactions. This page introduces the challenge mode in J-League Pro Soccer Club o Tsukuru, known internationally as Sega Worldwide Soccer Manager 2 on Dreamcast. The mode is designed to prepare players for network tournaments and data matches by pitting them against preset clubs of varying strengths. It serves as a benchmark to test your club's growth and strategic approach. The page highlights the Japan Stars team as a formidable opponent in the challenge mode, listing player names such as Yokomura Kenji, Miyagawa Michelle, Otomo Yuzo, Matsumoto Taro, Cesare Satoshi, Hamada Hideo, Kaneko Nobuhiko, Kimura Kazuyoshi, Kosaka Takahiro, Mihara Kazuhiro, and Mizunuma Takahiro. Additionally, it showcases the Tsukuru Doctor Help function, a feature for newcomers to Saskatsuku, the nickname for the game series, and soccer novices. This in-game help system provides explanations for commands, training advice, and a soccer terminology glossary. The command explanation section helps players understand in-game commands, training guidance offers advice on player development, and soccer terminology explains soccer jargon. These features aim to make the complex game accessible to a wider audience and deepen their understanding of soccer club management. This page is an advertisement for a media creator school that specializes in game development. It promotes courses for aspiring game creators covering areas like CG design, game design, character design, scenario writing, sound direction, motion capture, digital video, and multimedia creation. The school is offering a free one-day experience enrollment for those interested in learning more about game creation, from CG graphics to game making. The advert includes a phone number to call for further information and enrollment. This page is a reader submission corner for the magazine, full of readers' comments and jokes. The Chow Chow Odo section discusses visual memory minigames and encourages readers to send postcards to Dream Magazine, mentioning the growth of online gaming for Dreamcast and new games coming out. The This Week's Cow Adventure section includes reader submissions about playing Dreamcast for 24 hours as a funny challenge to 24-hour TV broadcasts, and comments about the appealing sound of 24-hour DC. There are jokes about not eating shaved ice in summer, and questions about online learning. Readers also mention being busy with entrance exams and the excitement of online battles in games like professional baseball team Wo Tsukuru and Tukan Retsuden. The Uzumaki Siblings with Cat section introduces characters Dream-chan, Kastikun, and Bubu the Cat, who are described as Dream Hiroba personalities. Finally, This week's Do Venture edition features reader jokes, including one about a fighting game tournament and humorous observations comparing cats to humans, and anecdotes about sending postcards to Dream Magazine and a joke about targeting Casticun. This page is titled, Picture Great Cathedral, and focuses on pixel art created within the Dreamcast VM's 48 by 32 display capabilities. It showcases user-submitted artwork. One piece titled, Thank You, Namco, from Tier and Kumamoto, is a pixel art tribute to Namco games. Another submission, Picture That Came to Town, by Masuzin from Toyama, seems to be inspired by the anime Martian successor Nadesico, and features a character named Ruri. Finally, Kyuto Ryunosuke from Saitama contributed a piece called Soul Calibur Ivy, a pixel art depiction of Ivy from Soul Calibur. The page also includes submission guidelines for readers to send in their own pixel art to Dreamcast Magazine. There is a small illustration and text box on the right side with a seasonal comment about autumn. This page showcases the Illustration Garden section from the magazine, and the theme for submissions was Winter Sports. However, the artworks featured here cover a variety of games, not just winter sports. We see fan art of Ivy from Soul Calibur, described as sexy and impressive. Another artwork evokes a sense of speed and is likened to Guilty Gear's KY Kisk. There's a virtual on-girl artwork, noted for its impact despite its possibly girlish source of inspiration. Two chibi characters are featured in a Soul Calibur Kilik illustration, praised for its detail. The King of Fighters Kyo Kusanagi is depicted with a happy expression, with the artist anticipating his appearance in Versus. Capcom crossover games. A submission featuring Cervantes from Soul Calibur is complimented as a mature character choice, and the tone of the artwork is deemed suitable for printing. Several artworks are related to skateboarding, with mentions of Cask Boar, which sounds like an in-game item related to skateboarding games. Xianghua and Sophidia from Soul Calibur appear in a close group of 3 artwork, also mentioning Kilik. The themes mentioned on the bottom right are appetite, literature, physical strength in autumn, with a seaman-style artwork of a bizarre creature, and it's noted that a series of 3 artworks were posted together, with a comment about Ivy's gone eyes being scary but wonderful. Overall, Soul Calibur seems to be a popular game among the artists featured on this page, alongside other fighting games and titles like Virtual On and Seaman. This page is a collection of reader submissions and humorous sections. There's a weekly Bad Kids section featuring characters resembling Beavis and Butthead, and a weekly Sentiba section which is a reader photo and poem about summer heat. The If We Could Meet in a Dream section includes reader comments about games they want on Dreamcast, mentioning games like Newman Athletics and Macho Breakers, which are likely referring to the Japanese titles Neo Geo Cup 98, The Road to the Victory, and Windjammers respectively. Another reader requests Beat Mania and Poppin' Music for Dreamcast. There's also a weekly Suneo Man section, parodying the character Suneo from Doraemon. Cheers from Famous People, But All Are Fakes section includes cartoon figures resembling famous characters, and a final section with submission guidelines for readers. This page is an advertisement for the official guidebook for the Dreamcast game, Frame Guide. It highlights that the book is a complete guide to master the game, boasting full parts and square data, strategy explanations based on unique game theory, maps, various types of data, stage strategies, practical effectiveness verification, and many images. The guidebook is a 5-size, 144 pages, printed in full color, and priced at 1,300 yen, and it is currently on sale. This page discusses the American movie The Matrix as a 21st century cinematic sensation and its influence on action games. It highlights the movie's action direction and story, mentioning its Japanese release and its opening weekend box office success. The article notes that the film was influenced by Japanese animation, specifically Ghost in the Shell, Akira, and games like Metal Gear Solid. It also mentions other games such as Parasite Eve V2 as examples of titles that fit the discussed themes. The article praises the movie's innovative action sequences, including bullet-time photography and the wire stunts. The directors, the Wachowski brothers, are mentioned, known for their stylish debut film, Bound. The page includes images from The Matrix movie featuring Neo in action and an illustration of a young girl shooting zombies. The article suggests the movie's concept of a virtual world, The Matrix, resonates with the increasing computerization of the real world in 1999. This page is about the movie, The Matrix. It highlights the action scenes, particularly Trinity's impressive jump at the beginning of the movie, which is filmed using 120 still cameras and digital processing to achieve the bullet time effect. The article suggests Trinity's cool demeanor will undoubtedly influence game characters, emphasizing her stylish look. The main character, Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, is mentioned as having already established his popularity with the movie Speed. The article also touches upon the depth of the movie, stating that elements within the Matrix are intricately woven together and encourage repeat viewings to fully appreciate them. It mentions that sequels, The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, are planned for release in the summer and winter of 2002 respectively, expressing anticipation for the expansion of the Matrix world. The article is written by movie writer Fuji Akihoshi. This page is a manga strip titled Something Yoshimatsu Theater Episode 41, which humorously discusses the newly announced PlayStation 2. The comic begins by highlighting the impressive features of the PS2, particularly its ability to play DVDs, presenting it as a dreamlike advancement for a game console. It then uses visual metaphors, depicting software manufacturers eagerly adopting the PS2, while Sega is represented by anthropomorphic consoles seemingly overwhelmed and facing a cruel form of competition. The strip references Sega's tradition and self-deprecating humor. It concludes by mentioning the author's upcoming book, Sega Games Are the Best in the World, a compilation of his Sega-related works, set to be released in October. This page is a column called Black or Black by Fumio Kurokawa, and this time the topic is Pilot's Troubles. Kurokawa reflects on his childhood dreams of becoming a pilot or train conductor, but how these aspirations shifted as he got into manga and music. He mentions his experiences with guitar playing, from acoustic to electric, and the pain of realizing he wasn't as skilled as he wanted to be. He then transitions to the game industry, discussing the importance of understanding human pain in game design. Kurokawa suggests that game creators who don't grasp this concept might develop unrealistic or poorly designed games, even in genres like flight simulators. He even uses the extreme example of hijackers, relating their actions to a potential pilot syndrome from their youth. The column touches upon the connection between game characters and players, pondering if there's a similarity, and whether that's something players would want to be told. Finally, there's a profile of Fumio Kurokawa, noting he was born in 1960, has a background in music and film, and is now working at Sega AM2, involved in promotional work for the Virtua Fighter series. The recent news section mentions the announcement of the next-generation PlayStation 2, and also discusses GameCube and game distribution, hinting at future industry developments. It's more of a personal reflection on game creation and philosophy rather than a game review or preview. This page is an anime check-it feature, focusing on the anime Masukishin Cybuster. It is announced as a hot-blooded robot action anime based on the simulation RPG Super Robot Wars. The anime series is being released on video, Laserdisc, and DVD, starting from Volume 1. The release date is scheduled for September 25th. The page details the story's setting in 2040, where Ken and his sister live in Tokyo, rebuilt after environmental pollution and a major earthquake. Ken joins the Earth Environment Investigation Research Institute, DC. Character profiles are provided for. Ken Avanando, voiced by Koyuki Toita, described as having a strong sense of justice and caring for his weak sister, joining DC, and being childhood friends with Mizuki. Mizuki Kamijo, voiced by Yuki Masuda, Ken's childhood friend, also joins DC, and is described as tomboyish. Shu Zoldark, voiced by Ken Narita, the director of DC, described as a kind and thoughtful person like a father to the team. Safine Grace, voiced by Kazuko Sugiyama, Shu's right-hand person, and DC's captain, a cool beauty. RT, a robot developed by DC for environmental protection, which becomes weaponized due to the appearance of Cybuster. The page also advertises 2 CD soundtracks. One is for Ayakashi Kaitu Daikessen Original Soundtrack, subtitled Musical Supertherapy Method I, Healing Special 1. The other is for Arc the Lad TV Animation Soundtrack 2, highlighting music by Michiru Oshima, including the ending theme, Nina, sung by Yuki Ai. This page is a showcase of upcoming anime releases on DVD and VHS tapes in Japan. It features a selection of titles categorized as TV series, OVAs, original video animations, movies, and anime being broadcast on CS, communications satellite, channels. Most of these releases are scheduled for September and October of 1999. Featured anime series include Soul Bianca, Eden's Bowie, Harlock Saga, and You're Under Arrest Special. The page also lists Voicelugger, which is a TV series, and the movie Spriggan DTS Edition is highlighted. OVA titles include Yuno, Ark the Lad, Nurse Angel Ririka SOS, Rurouni Kenshin, Trust and Betrayal, and Ayako's Cerebral Diagnosis. Promotional sections are dedicated to anime series airing on specific channels, such as Steel Angel Kurumi on WOWOW and Kimagure Orange Road, being broadcast on Kids Station. This week's magazine page reviews 3 films: Breakdown Palace, The Haunting, and Universal Soldier, The Return. Breakdown Palace, a thriller starring Claire Danes and Kate Beckinsale, follows 2 American women imprisoned in Thailand for heroin possession. The Haunting, a remake of the 1963 classic, boasts special effects and enhanced sound. Universal Soldier, The Return, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, promises intense action as soldiers turn against humanity. A column by Kaneko Kyoko discusses Breakdown Palace, highlighting its realism and focus on friendship. The films are scheduled for release in Japan in early to mid-October at Toho Yugake Cinemas. This section reviews several books. KG's Sengoku Turb was a Sengoku Turb fanbook. Offers character info, developer messages, interviews, strategy, reader submissions, and illustrations for fans. Best Picture Dictionary Ever is an engaging English language learning tool with animal characters. Thunder Bunny is a heartwarming children's book by Rodney Allen Greenblatt about a rabbit's adventure. The Cat Who Lived a Million Times is a Japanese masterpiece about a cat finding love. What Could Be Bought with That Money examines the economic collapse's impact, highlighting the potential uses of lost funds. Jinkei Mona Lisa, a mystery novel by Mori Hiroshi, features a secluded mansion setting, a murder during a play, and explores human relationships. Finally, a gamebook ranking chart is provided. This page is a news article discussing various topics related to the Dreamcast. It mentions the announcement of the PlayStation 2 and the Dreamcast's overseas release, highlighting it as the Dream Machine in a common project. The article touches on technical aspects of the Dreamcast, such as the DVD-ROM and CD-ROM, PC card, and USB connectivity. It also notes the price point of 39,800 yen. The article features a profile of a music composer who was born in Matsumoto City, Nagano Prefecture. He composes music for games, mentioning titles in the Grandia, Lunar, and Langrisser series. The text also details a Saito Kinen Festival event in Matsumoto, involving a concert that includes a performance of Faust's Damnation. Furthermore, the article discusses the availability of Dreamcast in America and Europe, with pre-orders at 30,000 yen. It hints at the competition between Sony and Sega, and emphasizes Sega's commitment to providing good software. Finally, there's an advertisement for the Best of Grandia CD, and website addresses are provided for further information, including a Dreamcast homepage called Ilwade Gengoku World. This page is an advertisement for the Giant Graham Perfect Guide, a strategy guidebook for the Dreamcast game All Japan Pro Wrestling 2 in Nippon Budokan. The book promises to be the complete guide to lead players to victory, featuring detailed explanations of the game system perfect for beginners, a roster of all 15 wrestlers with their moves and combos, a pro wrestling move encyclopedia, and in-depth data for all techniques. It also includes a section on wrestler training called Tiger's Den, an interview with Triple Crown champion Mitsuharu Misawa, and a Cheats and Secrets section. The book is advertised as 128 pages, a 5 size, and includes a special sealed section. This document details a magazine's reader questionnaire, designed to gather feedback. The questionnaire, to be completed with a black pen or pencil, collects demographic information like gender, age, and occupation, along with reading habits and opinions on the current cover. The magazine also seeks feedback on its content, listing articles on news, software, and game reviews, Sonic Adventure, Godzilla Generations, etc. Lists are provided on hardware owned, Dreamcast, PlayStation, etc., and Dreamcast software, with a section to list their software as well. Readers are prompted to specify their reading frequency, favorite articles, hardware ownership/desires, and Dreamcast software preferences. A free comment section is provided for additional feedback. This page is an advertisement for the graphic material collection Matrix for Cybertroopers Virtual on Oratorio Tangram. There are 3 volumes advertised. Volume 1 features TEMJIN, Feyen KN, APHARMDB, and DORORDRAY, and is out now for 1,200 yen. Volume 2 features Cypher, Angeline, APHARMDS, and GRYSVOK, and is also out now for 1,200 yen. Volume 3 features Raiden, Balsaries, and SPECINEFF, on sale October 29th for 1,200 yen. Also advertised are 1 to 144 scale model kits of MBV707, GTEM-JINDNA side, and HBV05 F&S Raiden, M. Mysalpins Raiden, customized. This page is a special report previewing the Dreamcast game, Berserk. It highlights that the game is 50% complete and is set to be released in Japan on December 16, 1999, by ASC2. The price is listed as 6,800 yen. It's described as a dramatic 3D action game for one player. The article mentions the sacrifice victims and introduces a monstrous enemy called Mandrake Demon. It seems the game will involve Guts fighting against these demonic creatures and corrupted humans. The page also introduces a new original character profile. One enemy type is detailed as Type A Mandrake Demon, female head parasite type. These are described as women who had their heads parasitized by demons, losing their own will and becoming driven by instinct and hatred. Their skin is partially demonized, and their faces are distorted and swollen. Their attacks involve using long, root-like tentacles to strike and constrict enemies. Screenshots showcase brutal action with blood splatter and enemies being attacked by Guts with his sword. The gameplay seems focused on visceral combat against grotesque creatures. This page details various enemy types in the game Berserk. Millennium Falcon Hen Seima Senki no Sho. The large type, Type B, is a powerful, male enemy with a hammer-like arm, known for surprising speed and brute force. Partially parasitic type, Type C. Enemies are male and covered in abdominal parasites, attacking with tentacles and corrosive spit. They often appear in groups, increasing their challenge. Upper body parasitic type, Type D. Enemies are male, with tentacles extending from their arms, resulting in a unique movement style and attack patterns. Finally, the whole-body invasive type, Type E, originally Okan, is a female enemy completely overtaken by parasites, with contorted limbs, primarily attacking with body slams. This page details the gameplay system close-up for the Dreamcast title, Berserk. It focuses on the action pattern changes depending on whether Guts, the main character, has his sword, Dragon Slayer, equipped or not. When unequipped, Guts carries the sword on his back, and his attack patterns change. With the sword equipped, Case 1 shows the guard motion, where Guts can guard against attacks, but damage is halved, and it's ineffective against grappling. Case 2 details Body Blow, which is a non-sword equipped attack, where Guts can use a body blow to disrupt enemy posture. The page then moves to Special Attack Techniques using the sword. Running slash is performed by equipping the sword while running to deliver a powerful slash. Jump slash and smash 2 stage showcases jump attacks which vary depending on whether Guts is ascending, descending, or landing from the jump, allowing for combo attacks. Spin slash is activated by pressing A+X and acts as both an attack and emergency evasion technique, though it uses stamina. Finally, under sub-weapons etc., it mentions the bowgun, throwing knife, stating the bowgun can only be used when the sword is equipped, while throwing knives are used when unequipped. The setup Great Cannon is another weapon with limited use, related to sword equipment. Lastly, Fairy Dust is described as a recovery item, replenishing health and usable regardless of sword equipment, but with limited uses. The next page focuses on the game Berserk, Millennium Falcon Arc, chapter of the Holy Demon War case. It highlights the Berserk mode, which is activated when a meter fills up as the player takes damage, increasing Guts' power and speed significantly, making him fight like a demon. The page also introduces Sister Eliza, a young sister who protects those afflicted by a strange disease in Mandragora village. The text describes Eliza as believing that the Mandragora beasts are not inherently harmful unless provoked, and questions how Guts will react to this. A section also features voice actress Sumi Shimamoto, who voices Sister Eliza, mentioning that she has played many sister roles before, but Eliza has a strong will within her gentle demeanor, allowing for a nuanced performance beyond a typical holy character. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game Super Producers, a music industry simulation game where you nurture singers to stardom. The visuals are highlighted as being designed by Ichiro Tanida, known for his CG artwork and CD jacket designs. The game allows players to create original songs, train singers, and compete online. The page details a radio program called LF+R Fly, which is a promotional tie-in for super producers. This radio program, broadcast on Nippon Broadcasting System on weekdays from midnight to 1 a.m., is hosted by Tomohisa Suda. The radio show is described as a prequel to the game, focusing on the theme. Now, who is the music producer who will impress you? Listeners can vote for their favorite producers, and the program will track the activities of singers nurtured by the station staff, aiming to promote the Super Producers game. This page highlights the game Super Producers, focusing on the DJ minigame aspect. In the game, players can explore areas like streets, clubs, and discos within the downtown area to find DJ booths. By pressing buttons in rhythm at these booths, players engage in a minigame. Achieving high scores in this rhythm game rewards players with bonus items, with 6 types of items available like a lucky cat, a plush doll, Hyotoko, moon-viewing noodles, a guitar, and throat candy, each having different effects to boost the singer's abilities. The page also explains tie-ups for CD releases and radio programs, suggesting promotional strategies within the game. Finally, it announces a radio program called Super Producers Night, scheduled to air in October and November, indicating a cross-media promotion for the game. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game Idol Hackenden. Data File 2, a title focused on male idol production, a departure from previous female idol-centric games. It highlights the game's starting funds of 15 million yen, which might seem like a lot but can disappear quickly. A key early game action is signing a singer for around 4 million yen. The article points out the game's detailed nature, with a helpful navigator cat character to guide players. Screenshots show elements like auditions, singer contracts, makeup, and song creation. The game features song production aspects, where you work with composers, choose genres, and customize your idol's appearances to boost their appeal and image. You can also give your singers stage names to personalize them further. This Dreamcast game simulates the career of an idol producer. Players use imagination points earned by selling songs to unlock creative options in song arrangement. Producing a CD single involves decisions about the number of copies, release date, and jacket design, with the risk of unsold CDs if production isn't managed carefully. Live performances are crucial for boosting popularity, starting with street performances and progressing to larger venues. Players manage stage production and can hire backing bands. The game features a save function and configuration options. A single chart displays song rankings, suggesting a competitive element to the music production. This page is an advert for SoftBank Publishing's Strategy Guide Campaign 99. They are giving away prizes to people who buy strategy guides, including 30 WonderSwan handheld consoles, 300 GameSpot two-way bags, 20 Neoranga trading card sets, and 1,000 QUO cards worth 500 yen. The campaign period is from August to the end of September, 1999. To enter, you need to attach the application ticket from the strategy guide cover to the reader survey in the same strategy guidebook, and send it to SoftBank Publishing. The advert mentions strategy guides for SD Gundam G Generation 0 Navigation Guide and Soul Calibur Perfect Guide, among others. This page is showcasing perfect guides for various WonderSwan games. On the left, there's a guide for Mobile Suit Gundam MSVS, a combat simulator from Anaheim Electronics featuring over 70 mobile suits and 30 famous pilots like Amuro Ray and Char Aznavour. This guide covers mission strategies, pilot training, MS data, and secret information, and is already available. On the right, they are advertising the Terror's Perfect Guide for the novel adventure game. This guide will help you reach the best ending of the 5 episodes and the final chapter, explaining terror points and other game elements to uncover the true story. It's set to release in September. Below, there's a list of WonderSwan Perfect Guides, including SD Gundam Emotional Jam, Chaos Gear Michibiki Mono, Last Stand, Neon Genesis Evangelion Pilot Training, Vibes Blade, and Super Robot Wars Compact, all with their prices. They also announce a guide for Fighting Cooking Legend Bistro Recipe Wonder Battle Edition, coming in October. This page is all about providing players with strategy guidance for the Dreamcast game Black Matrix Advanced. It's highlighting itself as a strategy guardian god, offering in-depth tactics. The page mentions that Black/MAD, likely a shortened version of the title, is finally being released. This guide focuses on basic strategy for players to get to grips with the game, covering scenarios up to the 4th chapter. It points out that the game is a tactical simulation RPG published by NEC Interchannel, launching on September 30th and priced at 6,800 yen for a 2-disc set, and is a single-player experience. The article emphasizes that the game blends dramatic story development with strategic simulation battles, making it quite engaging. While the character development is very free, it warns that players need to be strategic, especially in the later half of the battles, even for experienced players. This guide aims to cover everything a player needs to know across 10 pages, from basic battle systems to character development and scenario branching, making it accessible even for simulation RPG beginners. It intends to explain everything in detail, even revisiting common-sense aspects of gameplay. There's a screenshot showing in-game dialogue and menus, highlighting the easy, normal, and advanced difficulty settings. This guide for Black Matrix AD Advance outlines key pre-battle strategies. First, it emphasizes shopping for superior equipment, selling unwanted items to fund upgrades, and prioritizing weaker allies. Second, it highlights the importance of using blood points, BP, for rituals to unlock and enhance character abilities, boosting stats like HP recovery. Third, the guide recommends free battles for level grinding to overcome enemy level differences. Fourth, it stresses the need for strategic unit formation, including characters you wish to level up. Finally, it advises manual BP allocation to characters reliant on magic or latent abilities to prevent shortages. The guide also includes a basic parameter explanation for STR, INT, VIT, DEX, and MOV, defining their impact on combat effectiveness. These steps aim to maximize character strength and resource management for victory. This page is a strategy guide for the game Black Matrix ADVENT, focusing on mastering the combat system. It emphasizes understanding all elements to achieve victory. The guide covers various aspects of combat, including attack types, weapon types, and how attack ranges change based on weapon type. It details different attack types like horizontal swing, thrust, whip, and bow, each with unique attack ranges and characteristics. The guide also explains weighting type change, a mode to reduce damage taken from enemy counterattacks, and how terrain height affects combat, emphasizing the importance of unit positioning for attack and movement range. Finally, it describes the ZOC, Zone of Control system, explaining how unit placement can block enemy routes and create strategic advantages. The screenshots illustrate gameplay scenarios and demonstrate the concepts discussed in the text. The next page details strategy and game mechanics for Black Matrix AD. It explains status changes like stone, poison, sleep, and magic, outlining their effects and remedies. The Magic Biorhythm Clock section describes how magic power fluctuates with time, emphasizing the importance of timing magic use for optimal effect. Magic Shot Range/Effective Range explains how to target spells and the area of effect, crucial for hitting multiple enemies or allies efficiently, showing a screenshot of the game's tactical map. BP Supplementation advises players on managing and replenishing battle points, BP, essential for using special abilities and magic. Finally, a normal magic list table details various spells, their attributes, BP cost, type, and effects, such as damage-dealing spells like Lyric Ray and Meteor Force, and support spells like Heal and Recover. The page also provides one-point tactics, advising players not to wait for enemies to approach, but to proactively attack, highlighting the importance of command time and turn management in battle. The next page is a strategy guide for Black Matrix AD Advance, a game not released outside of Japan. This page is a guide for character development, focusing on how to train your companions to effectively progress through the game. It details several main characters like Gaius, Piripo, Abel, Yofan, Labrobos, and Rupi, providing their initial scenario appearance, attack and weapon types, and recommended magic spells to learn with their corresponding levels. Additionally, the page has a section dedicated to sub-characters available up to Chapter 4, listing Plaha, Jiru, Oscar, Zero, and others, including Minion, Domina, Michette, and Pahua, and their conditions for joining your party, outlining specific requirements to recruit each one, such as avoiding certain characters in your main party, completing scenarios under specific conditions, and making certain choices during events. The next page focuses on providing gameplay strategy and tips for Black Matrix A for the Dreamcast. It describes Pandora's Box minigames like wood chopping, cooking, and fishing, which influence character parameters such as strength, intelligence, vitality, and dexterity depending on the season. It also details basic actions, involving conversations with townspeople and item collection, impacting parameters and unlocking recipes by giving items to the protagonist. A table outlines special actions, like reading, sleeping, bathing, farming actions, and their corresponding parameter boosts. The page then moves into Golgotha's Labyrinth, the second chapter, which introduces simulation battles, emphasizing basic tactics for beginners. It lists enemy characters and obtainable items for 2 battles: Escape and Ren Demon, Matamaran Demon. Characters like Gaius, Leprosy, Yofane, Pra, and Plika are highlighted as companions. Finally, a tip section titled B/MAD Hamidashi Hito to Memo advises players on how to avoid back attacks in battles by strategically using obstacles. This page details strategy information for the game Black Matrix Advient. It provides guides for Chapter 3 scenarios, including Infiltration and For Whom Does the Battle. The Infiltration scenario's victory condition is defeating all enemies, rewarding experience points and money. Featured enemies include Believers and Poisonists. Items obtainable from enemies are listed as leather armor from Believers. The For Whom Does the Battle scenario's victory condition is defeating the Evil Knight, with associated experience points and money rewards. Enemies include Believers, Poisonists, and Evil Knights. Obtainable items are Great Heavenly Certificate and Potion from Believers. The guide emphasizes defeating Poisonists first in this scenario. The page introduces a character named Rupee, who can join the party and has a shop option. It also details the Ribera Town shop before and after a battle scenario, listing various weapons like knives, daggers, short swords, katarasu, spears, axes, morning stars, rose whips, short bows, and long bows. Armor includes leather armor, hard leather, and robes. Recovery items are potions, blue cure, and yellow cure. The tables show item names, prices, types, and characters who can equip them. The bottom section explains the abbreviations used for character names in the shop tables. A equals Algipol, Re equals Leprobs, Ga equals Gaius, Yo equals Yohane, Ru equals Rurupi, Pi equals Piripo. This page is a strategy guide for scenarios in Black Matrix A+, Black Matrix Advanced. The first section, Chapter 33 Feet Angel's Teachings, details how to defeat enemies like Believers, Poisonists, Cross Soldiers, Healers, and Strong Believers by targeting the Poisonists and Healers first. The winning condition is defeating all enemies and obtaining experience points and money. Items like Colonel Roubeau and Potion can be obtained from enemies. The second section, Chapter 34 Love Waltz, explains how to defeat enemies like Lovers and Yuta by attacking from the left side stairs. The winning condition is defeating Yuta and obtaining experience and money. Items like Fleuret and Falchion can be obtained. It warns against entering Yuta's magic range. The final section, Chapter 35, Bell of the Great Evil God, describes how to defeat enemies like Lovers, D-Summoners, and Yuta by concentrating attacks in the center of the map while being cautious of Yuta's powerful magic. The winning condition is defeating Yuta and obtaining experience and money. Items like Le Cure and Bone Staff can be acquired. It advises equipping items immediately when obtained. The next page covers Chapter 4, Journey's End of Black Matrix AD Advance. This chapter presents branching story paths with the Pilipo route and the Rebrobs route. The page details the item shop in Ketelon Village, showing available equipment and recovery items with their prices. Strategic advice is offered for 2 battles. The first battle, Master Tema Summons, focuses on defeating Mastema and his soldiers, advising to prioritize taking down the elderly soldiers around Mastema first. The second battle, Attack Across the Bridge, provides tactics for facing various Doctor-type enemies on a bridge map, recommending utilizing Dr. Green to heal your party, and focusing attacks on specific enemy types in order. Characters like Domina, Mastema, Michelle, and Power are mentioned as potential allies who can join your party during this part of the game. This guide details the Rebrobs route in Black Matrix AD for Dreamcast, focusing on Chapter 4 scenarios. It outlines 4 scenarios: Attacking Melancholy, defeat all enemies for Express, Money, and Udit Stone. Tournament Round 1 and 2, defeat all enemies for Express and Money, no items. And Blood Battle. Defeat enemy leader Zero Zefal for Express, Money, and Tobito's Stone. Tactical advice includes adjusting unit placement in tournaments and specific strategies for battles involving Zero. The guide also covers the arena shop, listing items like weapons and armor available for characters such as Abel, Rebrobs, and Piripo, and the importance of training Rebrobs for the fixed unit tournament battles. This page is a special announcement for Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 0079, Rise from the Ashes, a Dreamcast game where players can control Gundam, gun cannon, and gun tank in MS simulation mode. The page is advertising a premium disc, which is bundled with the game. This disc includes extra content like a sound library to listen to in-game music, a gallery with package illustrations and CG images, and extra options. It is mentioned that download items are planned for the extra options mode, suggesting downloadable weapons and items to enhance the simulator. The page also shows screenshots of the game in cockpit view and a specification chart for the RX 782 Gundam. This page showcases an exciting simulation game featuring mobile suits from the Gundam universe. The page highlights the White Base team and their sortie, promising players a simulator experience where they can relive famous scenes from the anime. The game is described as a simulator for training gym pilot recruits by Amuro Ray, a Federation Forces ace pilot. It mentions a message from Amuro, voiced by Toru Furuya, which would be a must-hear for Gundam fans. The screenshots and text focus on two mobile suits, the RX-77 gun cannon and the RX-75 gun tank. Spec details for both units are provided, such as height, weight, generator output, and thruster thrust. The gun cannon is described as a mid-range support mobile suit, equipped with beam weapons, while the gun tank is presented as a long-range support mobile suit, emphasizing its powerful cannons and caterpillar tracks for heavy artillery bombardment. The page teases challenging gameplay, stating that enemies are powerful and incorporate pilot data, implying sophisticated AI opponents. It encourages players to master beam rifles and strategy to defeat enemies. There is also information about a premium disc offer. Players can obtain a premium disc by sending in an application seal from the game package, along with a password revealed after clearing the game, and a 200 yen postage fee. Discs were scheduled to start shipping in November. The application deadline is extended to October 31st. This page is an advertisement for the perfect guidebook for the Dreamcast game Professional Baseball Team O Tsukuru. This guide, published by SoftBank Publishing, is currently on sale and priced at 1,300 yen plus tax. The 368-page A5-sized book promises to be the ultimate guide to creating a professional baseball team, covering everything from team creation to player development and in-game strategies. It boasts detailed data pages and interviews with the developers, and is filled with character images from the game. This Dreamcast strategy guide preview highlights several games, mainly Japan-exclusive titles, in its contents listing. The Hot Information page teases upcoming content. The guide includes information on games such as the international release Gigawing, along with adventure games like Revive, Sosei, and Espionagents. Other featured games include Sunrise Ayutan, Dancing Blade 2, Atsumare, Guru Guru Onsen, Pro Yakyu Team wo Tsukuru, Climax Landers, Idol Janshi wo Tsukuchou Heart, and Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling, Tukon Retsuden 4. The page includes an image of an anime-style woman and a screenshot panel showcasing a game with chibi characters in a fantasy setting. The guide, copyrighted in 1999 and involving Data East Corp and Sega Enterprises Limited, promises complete strategy coverage. Gigawing, the arcade shooting game known for its unique reflect force and scoring system, is coming to the Dreamcast. The game, currently 80% complete, is slated for a November release in Japan and supports two-player gameplay. The reflect force mechanic allows players to reflect enemy bullets for scoring opportunities, but is limited by a gauge. The Dreamcast port features character designs by Fuyu and enhanced story elements through the use of famous voice actors. Players can choose from characters like Morikubo Shinosuke, who pilots the wide-shot Raikou, or Sakamoto Mami, who uses the focused Porchka. The developers are focusing on delivering an engaging experience for shooting game fans. The Dreamcast version of Gigawing introduces several new features. A score attack mode allows players to replay stages for high scores, with a high score version mode for further point accumulation. The game's scoring system uses a multiplier based on emblem collection and bullet reflection. Graphics and sound are improved over the arcade version. A gallery mode allows viewing artwork, and an internet mode enables online high-score rankings and potential downloadable content via the Dreamcast modem and a dedicated homepage. Character introductions are given. Ruby, a cheerful orphanage protector. Setsuna, a cool military scion. And Daikyo Akira, a former doctor seeking to cure his wife. Each pilot's a unique aircraft. Ruby's Carmine, fast, front-focused attacks. Setsuna's Shutok, well-balanced. And Daikyo Akira's Widerstand, expert-level homing lasers. This page presents a preview of the Dreamcast adventure game, Revive Sosei, which translates to Revive, Rebirth. The game's tagline is, "A gentle space envelops me." The text describes the game's story as being about experiencing many firsts, such as first encounters, first places, and even being caught up in a murder incident. It mentions that girls in a research facility are rediscovering emotions they have kept hidden. The game's development ROM is being used to showcase the opening movie and the story from the prologue to the climax, focusing on the feelings of the girls and their interpersonal relationships. The page highlights a section focusing on the protagonist's case, set during their last summer of high school. It talks about how the protagonist, named Kiyoaki, remembers events from a year prior when Nozomi was taken in. The text touches on the themes of longing, dreams, and the fear of losing the current peaceful life, questioning if these feelings are a manifestation of this fear. It also shows a scenario where Yuzuki shows a kind smile, depicting her as someone who expresses her emotions honestly and openly, contrasting with hidden feelings. The game seems to explore delicate emotions and human connections within a dramatic narrative. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game Revive, a Japanese exclusive title. It highlights the game's focus on the complex relationships between characters, Kiharuna, Yoina, and the protagonist. The game explores themes of friendship, sibling bonds, and romantic love within a heart triangle dynamic. The preview details scenarios for both Kiharuna and Yoina, emphasizing their individual personalities and relationships with the protagonist, showcasing scenes of everyday life and deeper emotional connections. It mentions that the story begins with Kiharuna's disappearance and uses flashbacks to illustrate the close bonds between the characters. Yoina's section describes her as initially hesitant but gradually opening up to the protagonist, suggesting a developing romantic interest. Overall, the page teases the intricate relationship dynamics and emotional depth at the heart of Revive. This page introduces 4 female characters, Yuzuki, Misumi, and Chitose, and another character related to Nao, likely named Ayana, based on other parts of the page, for an upcoming game. Yuzuki is described as shy and introverted, struggling with confidence, despite being good at swimming. Misumi is Yuzuki's cheerful and bright cousin from Kyoto, who is supportive and friendly, known for her bright personality but hides her worries. Ayana is an admired senior by Yuzuki who she feels indebted to. Ayana is also described as having a calm demeanor, but harbors inner anxieties and is difficult to approach. Chitose is presented as emotionless and doll-like, who has trouble opening her heart to others and may only trust her cat. The page also mentions that the package illustration shows a different, more expressive side to Chitose, hinting at hidden depths in her character. The page seems to be building anticipation for the game by highlighting the personalities and backstories of these characters, focusing on their inner feelings and complexities. It's likely a dating sim or visual novel where understanding these girls' hearts is a key element. This Dreamcast game preview highlights Ryoko, a proud, elite researcher with a hidden compassionate side. The narrative explores whether her desire to handle a research institute incident alone is overthinking her consideration for others. A key scene depicts Ryoko's gentle smile while caring for a cat, revealing her kindness despite her aloof exterior. Another segment hints at a suspenseful plot involving a dimly lit room, a water tank, and a worried individual approaching the institute. The preview also includes images of Ryoko as a child with a cat and her grandfather, possibly indicating the importance of family ties. These images hint at elements of character development and narrative. This points to a story-driven adventure or visual novel-style game. This page previews the Dreamcast game Sunrise Ayutan, a battle RPG developed by Sunrise Interactive and planned for release in late December 1999, priced at 6,800 yen. The game is currently 65% complete and supports 2-player battles. The game's story mode, known as Heroic Ballad, consists of 8 chapters where players progress by clearing main events. Gameplay involves Cloud Sea/Continental Navigation mode for map movement, where players encounter enemies and treasures, leading to battles. After battles and docking, players enter Town mode, an adventure part, focused on meeting townspeople and gathering information. Screenshots illustrate the different game modes, including navigation through cloud seas and continents, battles with mobile suits, and interactions within towns. Dialogues hint at the game's narrative, involving discovering heroes and mysteries within the Sunrise universe, suggesting events inspired by various Sunrise anime series. The next page details the game modes and phases within a strategy title. It describes the dock mode, where you organize your squad, purchase weapons, and save game data. The weapon trading section explains buying weapons and parts to power up robots. Self-army information likely provides details on your forces. The page then transitions to battle mode, which has several phases. The supply phase restores items and robot HP each turn. The intercept phase is about welcoming and intercepting enemy units, where you decide which units defend your battleship. The attack phase focuses on launching attacks on enemy battleships, emphasizing quickly defeating defensive units to damage the battleship. The battle phase shows intense combat scenes with polygon CG graphics. 2 checkpoints highlight key gameplay elements. Checkpoint 1 emphasizes EN management, energy, stating that battleships and robots use EN for actions in battle mode, which is replenished in the supply phase. Using too much EN will limit actions, so strategic energy management is crucial for victory. Checkpoint 2 stresses understanding robot characteristics and compatibility, noting that robots have unique traits like anti-air and initiative, and that compatibility is important, like rock, paper, scissors. Squad formation should consider these factors for each unit. The page showcases screenshots of gameplay, including menus, unit selection, and battle sequences with robots fighting. The game appears to be a strategic robot combat game, with resource management and tactical unit deployment. This page is a preview for the game Kikukai Galleon, Armored Trooper Galleon, revealing the new continents of Crescent Continent and Fifth Land Continent within the game's world. The game is set on Crescent Continent, where Emperor Margali controls the land and rebel armies continue to resist. A third force, the Aura Battler, is also present, setting the stage for a 3-way conflict. The page introduces the protagonist Geordie Border, a survivor who pilots the legendary robot Galleon, found in the White Valley. Galleon can transform into the Big Falcon for aerial combat. Chururu, the daughter of the White Valley chief, accompanies Geordie. The article highlights that robots from Sunrise Works will appear in the game. 3 robots are showcased: the Grand Fatty, and surprisingly, the MS-09 Dom and Mississippi 14, Gelgoog, from the Gundam series, suggesting a crossover or a nod to classic mecha anime. This page is showcasing new mobile report Gundam Wing and its setting in the Fifth Land Continent. It explains that this region in the game world, composed of 5 continents, mirrors the anime's conflict between OZ and the Resistance, suggesting players will engage in Gundam battles. The page details the story premise of Operation Meteor, where colonies send Gundams to Earth to disrupt OZ. It highlights key Gundam pilots: Hiro Yui of Wing Gundam, Troa Barton piloting Heavy Arms Custom, and Duo Maxwell with Death Scythe Hell. The Gundams themselves are also featured: the Ultimate Wing Gundam Zero with its Zero system, the heavily armed Gundam Heavy Arms Custom, and the stealth-focused Gundam Death Scythe Hell. Finally, it mentions a pre-order campaign for a game called Heroic Saga, starting October 10th, where pre-ordering grants players a random high-quality figure, either Impulse 7 or Gunblaze A, with 160,000 figures available in total. This page highlights the Dreamcast game Dancing Blade Kateni Momoiro Tenshi 2 Tears of Eden, which is described as an interactive anime adventure and the second in the Dancing Blade series. It's mentioned that player choices will affect the story's progression. This sequel includes about 5 minutes of new scenes, bringing the total volume to around 75 minutes, and it is described as a director's cut version. The game's story involves the main character Momo, who had previously transformed into an angel, but the mystery of her birth remains unsolved. The group continues their journey, and are working part-time at a family restaurant to prepare for their travels. Suddenly, a large disc appears in the sky above the city. The page also hints at Momo's true identity, revealing she is actually a princess from another world, and the giant disc is a messenger sent to retrieve her. The main character is saddened by the prospect of parting with Momo, but she decides to return to her homeland. She is escorted by a fleet of ships and messengers, and Suzuna seems to have doubts about the situation. The page mentions the game is 100% complete and will be released by Konami on September 30th, priced at 5,800 yen, on GDROM 2 discs. A quote on the page emphasizes the promise to protect Momo. This page showcases a preview for the Dreamcast game Ryugujo 7 Dragon Princesses. The game is set in Ryugujo, a dragon palace under the sea, and this chapter focuses on a karaoke tournament. The story involves the protagonist and the Dragon King's daughters, who are sisters. The protagonist is noticed by the younger sister, and the other sisters try to set them up. However, obstacles arise with the appearance of dog and pheasant characters trying to interfere. The page introduces the 4 main dragon princess sisters, Kuhime, Otohime, Haihime, and Teihime, providing brief descriptions of their personalities. The screenshots show anime-style characters and scenes from the game, including what looks like a karaoke stage and dialogue scenes. The text hints at a light-hearted and romantic adventure in this unique underwater setting. This page is a guide on how to purchase Dream Points for the online Dreamcast game Guru Guru Onsen. It explains that Dream currency is required to access the Net Onsen online feature of the game. The page details 2 ways to buy Dream: by credit card and web money card, providing step-by-step instructions with Dreamcast screenshots for each method. It clarifies that 1 Dream Point equals 1 yen, and 1,000 Dream Points cost 1,000 yen. 300 Dream Points are needed to play the game online for 30 days, and 1,000 Dream Points should last for about 3 months of play. This page introduces Net Onsen, Net Hot Springs, an online mode for the Dreamcast game Guru Guru Onsen, likely Whirlpool Hot Springs. The article encourages players to connect online and make friends in the virtual hot springs environment. It details how to access the online mode, starting with purchasing server access via a GDROM, returning to the entrance, and moving from the onsen map to the Net Onsen entrance. The page highlights 2 main areas within Net Onsen: the Daiokujo, large bath, for chatting, and the game room, where you can chat and play games simultaneously. Screenshots show players chatting in the large bath and playing card games like Joker and Napoleon in the game room. The page also promotes the Dorimaga Onsen Kumiai, Dreamcast Magazine Hot Springs Association, inviting readers to join as supporters. Planned activities for the association include game tournaments and in-game events. There's a message from the Guru Guru Onsen director, Ohara Taisuke, who expresses his hope that players will enjoy the online hot springs and make friends. This page is all about the Dreamcast game Guru Guru Onsen. It features Sega's banquet department chief Yuri, who is presenting information about the game's unique and user-friendly homepage, which is designed to be different from typical boring homepages. The plan is to involve users in creating content, even collecting song lyrics for background music, and potentially releasing a CD. The page also highlights that the Onsen homepage content is frequently updated. There's a section dedicated to providing tips for online card games within Guru Guru Onsen, referred to as Trump games, covering strategies for reverse sequence play, using jokers effectively, knowing when to pass, and handling game over situations. Screenshots of card games on the Dreamcast are also shown on the page. This web page details the Dreamcast's Hot Springs online community, a hub offering various features and gameplay tips. Hot Springs Today displays popular games and user stats. Hot Springs Square facilitates user interaction and provides Q&A. The Secretariat handles operational issues and provides reports. The links section encourages users to submit their Guru Guru Onsen homepages. The page offers secret techniques to win for 2 card games. Daiture tips focus on strategic sequence use, bold plays, and careful card discarding. Napoleon strategies emphasize declaration, vice president cooperation, and strategic payment card usage. The page also includes screenshots of both games, user interface examples, and Dreamcast branding. A mini-game guide advises players on achieving high scores by hitting specific characters quickly, utilizing button commands, and relying on a mix of skill and luck. This page is dedicated to strategies for Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team, where the focus is on utilizing coaches to enhance team growth. It emphasizes that effective coach usage is key to success. The page delves into the importance of coaches in player development and team building, advocating for their strategic deployment. It highlights different coach types and their specializations, such as those skilled in developing starting pitchers, technique-focused players, power pitchers, and even those specializing in creating powerful batting lineups. The page offers advice on leveraging coach expertise to nurture player potential and create a well-rounded team. Screenshots illustrate in-game coaching menus and player interactions. This page is a strategy guide page detailing special training menus available during the February and March camp periods in a baseball game, presumably from the JICU Powerful Pro Baseball Series, though the title is not explicitly stated on the page. The page focuses on special coach training, which is effective for developing players. Two tables are presented, one for pitcher training menus and another for infielder training menus. Each table lists various training types, like Miracle Baseball, Smart Fielding Training, King's Batting, Base Running Training, Absolute Control, and Magic Knuckle. For each training menu, the table shows effectiveness icons across different player attributes, such as stamina, control, ball speed, batting power, shoulder strength, running ability, fielding skill, catching ability, and leadership. Alongside each training menu is a list of possible coaches who can provide instruction in that area. For example, for Miracle Baseball Training, coaches like Nagashima Shigeo and Hara Tatsunori are listed. For Burning Man training, the coaches are Hoshino Shinichi and Yamamoto Kazu. For Magic Knuckle training, coaches like Murata Koichi and Sugishita Mao are mentioned. The page is designed to help players understand which training menus are effective for improving specific player skills and which coaches are available to guide those training sessions during the special camp periods. This page reveals the results of the first Dreamcast Cup Network Tournament, a competition in the Yakutsuku online Dreamcast game, which translates to Let's Make a Professional Baseball Team. The tournament attracted a total of 1668 teams. The winner of the Dreamcast Cup is a player named Kuji from the Minato ward. The page congratulates all participants and winners, highlighting Kuji as the champion of this intense online battle. There are sections detailing the Dreamcast team captain's reflections and the writer Oshima team captain's reflections on their performance in the tournament. Prizes for the winners include Japan Series tickets and autographed baseball cards. The page also presents a bracket-style tournament chart showing the progression of teams, including names like Sapporo Ronde, Urawa Shibayan, Adachiku Pumpkins, Yokohama Keisuke, Suganami Yokohama City, Toyota Kusuke, Bunkyoku Ikukuko, and Minatoku Kuji. Screenshots from the game are featured to illustrate the online matches and team management aspects of Yakutsuku. This Let's Make a Professional Baseball Team feature, a collaboration between the development team and Dream Magazine, offers tournament-winning strategies. Yakutsuku Hakase's 1000 Knocks tournament-winning lecture stresses balanced team development over maximizing all player stats. It emphasizes specialized players, particularly in pitching and fielding, and highlights the importance of seemingly minor attributes like shoulder and leg strength, recommending replay analysis. The feature also includes developer profiles. Programmer Ishihara enjoys the game's depth and unpredictable matches, drawing parallels to his real-life support of the Chiba Lotte Marines. Designer Shimizu praises the West Cebu Lions' Matsuzaka, highlighting his potential, and enjoys the draft and negotiation aspects of the game. Screenshots showcase gameplay and parameter screens, illustrating key points about player development and strategy. This page is focused on the Dreamcast RPG Climax Landers, which was released internationally as Time Stalkers. The article is a guide on raising monsters to fight alongside you in the game, highlighting the importance of monster loyalty. It explains that monsters have a loyalty parameter which affects their obedience in battle, and this can be increased by using the VM visual memory minigame. The page further details how monsters gain experience and level up, earning titles based on their experience. These titles improve their abilities and skills, turning seemingly weak monsters into powerful allies. A table example is provided showcasing the Mimanaga monster and its power-up titles, listing its attack and skill upgrades. Another section discusses monster job changes and how these impact their likability or popularity and other parameters. It mentions that choosing certain jobs will increase popularity, while others, like Nurse, might actually decrease it. The article also points out that high-income jobs tend to deplete vitality faster, while lower-income jobs preserve VIT but earn less money. It emphasizes the strategic element of choosing monster jobs to manage resources and popularity effectively. Screenshots depict in-game battles and menu screens, showcasing the visual memory minigame interface used for raising monster loyalty. The page encourages players to nurture their captured monsters to create a strong and efficient party in Time Stalkers. This page is a strategy guide page for the Dreamcast RPG Grandia 2. It introduces two female characters, Marlin and Lady, highlighting that their abilities are contrasting. Marlin is presented as a powerful mage who becomes an invincible magic user if her magic power is enhanced, learning fire, blizzard, and thunder magic early on, along with healing and cure spells. Her MP is high, making her suitable for continuous magic use, but her physical defense is low, requiring protection from physical attacks. Lady, in contrast, is described as excelling in martial arts and development-type magic. The page gives recommended party setups for both characters. For Marlin, it suggests a party focused on attack, with characters like Armo and Minaga. For Lady, the recommendation is a party balanced with attack and recovery magic, again suggesting Armo and a healer. The page provides tips on utilizing these characters effectively in battles in Grandia 2. There is also a small comic strip featuring characters discussing game strategy related to monsters and dungeon bosses. The next page is a dungeon guide from a Dreamcast magazine, focusing on dungeon for two locations, Downtown Town and Dollhouse. For Downtown Town, which spans 7 floors, it's highlighted that food is scarce, impacting battles due to hunger, and the dungeon's attribute is water. Players are advised to use recovery items and prioritize defeating magic-using enemies like the Nightmare. The guide suggests a balanced party with both magic and physical attack capabilities. Recovery points are located on floors 3 and 6. Floors 1 to 6 list various monsters, such as Mininaga, Killer Armor, Chaos, Judgment, and Hammerhead appearing on different floors. For Dollhouse, a larger dungeon with 13 floors, it's described as full of traps and having long passages, but food is normal, and there is no specific attribute. Players should check for traps using the X button. The guide recommends prioritizing recovery-type monsters like Healer, which are often positioned in the back lines. Long-range attacks and offensive magic are recommended, especially against defense-oriented enemies. Recovery points are on floors 3, 7, and 11. Floors 1 to 12 list monsters like Mighty, Silver Knight, Mininaga Word, Killer Armor, Gold Knight, Steel Armor, and Diamond Armor, appearing across the dungeon floors. The next page discusses boss strategies and story elements for what appears to be the game Grandia 2 on Dreamcast. Firstly, it details strategies for 2 boss types, the Cannibal Demon type and Dr. Milk plus puppet monsters. For the Cannibal Demon, the guide recommends focusing on physical attacks, as it is strong against magic. It's described as a standard boss, but variations might appear in quests, though the core strategy remains the same. For the Dr. Milk plus puppet monsters encounter, it advises prioritizing defeating the puppet monsters first because of their powerful magic attacks. While Dr. Milk is noted to use annoying healing magic, the guide recommends using healing spells like Mega Heal and focusing attacks on the weakest enemies first. It identifies 2 puppet monster types, Puppet Monster Puppet and Puppet Monster Dummy, explaining their attack styles and strengths. The page also outlines story elements, mentioning Downton Peace and the unexpected allies Lady and Sword, hinting at a serious storyline and the question of whether these characters are true heroes. Merlin is mentioned, and dungeon exploration is implied. The story progresses to a final battle after defeating Dr. Milk in the Doll Museum, where peace returns, but the surroundings become strange, and Sword seeks a way out of the Mosaic world, leading to a critical situation. Additionally, there's a manga strip titled World End Burst Manga, Landers is Not Landers, by Tamaki 230 horsepower, and a comic panel titled A Carefree Destruction Demon, RPG SSUO, by Vetterman. The next page is a strategy guide for the Dreamcast game ESPIONAGEENTS. It begins with a mission execution help manual that details the importance of the investigation command to improve success in disarming traps and puzzles, explaining how skill levels and DP stats are involved. The guide moves on to algorithm setting thoughts, advising players to sometimes override agent AI with direct instructions especially for complex situations. Newbie Boss Advice provides 3 tips focusing on pausing the battle screen to issue commands and utilize the map effectively, emphasizing staying calm during missions. Finally, the page highlights events to see at various in-game locations like the Michelle Fowler Memorial Museum and other areas, hinting at hidden scenarios and side content within the game. This guide details the Michelle Fowler Memorial Art Museum No. 2 mission in Headhunter. Players are advised to select agents with unlock, hacking, and electric circuit skills, especially prioritizing hacking. The mission follows a 4-step process. First, disable infrared sensors and open a shutter. Second, confirm phantasm and acquire the living fossil in the South Tower, noting that accepting an additional request here affects event points. Third, within a 5-minute limit, find phantasm in specific locations using clues from the management tower. Finally, discover phantasm and potentially acquire Maiden, Anna, in the management tower. The guide also warns against overusing Luria for events, advising a maximum of 3 uses to maximize event points, and emphasizes collecting all minor information like notes and items for point gains. This guide details a walkthrough for Mission Cron 2 in Kowloon 2, focusing on navigating the Kowloon walled city environment. The mission involves 8 steps, starting with disabling an alarm and pursuing a team across various locations: 1F West Plaza 1, 1F North Small Plaza, and connecting bridges. The guide provides a flowchart-like structure with objectives at each step, including finding maps and activating levers in passages. Agent selection is crucial, with recommendations like Rin, Vladimir, Farah, and Archangel. Using the evasion skill is advised to avoid damage, and strategies involving explosives and dissolving chemicals are recommended for dealing with obstacles. The guide also includes tips on triggering a passage drop by operating a lever and finding hidden money in rubble. This guide provides a walkthrough for the connecting bridge and Soryu area sections of a game, likely Shenmue. The connecting bridge walkthrough involves navigating passages and manipulating levers 7, 8, 10, and 6 to progress. The guide then leads players through the Soryu area, 2F entrance, 1F South Plaza, finding Control Panel 5, and 1F Central Plaza, capturing a target and obtaining Design Drawing D. The player then must proceed to Soryu Area B1 Central Plaza, activating breakers and switches, and finally to B1 West Plaza 1 to find evidence for mission completion. The guide also includes event and reward sections. The event discusses a possible encounter, while reward warns of the heavy weight of a gold bullion reward. This page provides a detailed guide to the panel match mode and cheating techniques in the Dreamcast game Idol Janshi wo Sukuchou 2. The panel match mode is explained, highlighting 3 stages with different panel arrangement patterns. Stage 1 uses horizontal pairs, Stage 2 uses horizontal and vertical combinations, and Stage 3 primarily uses vertical arrangements. There is also a section explaining random panel effects, which includes 4 types of power-ups: shuffle to rearrange panels, panel clear to instantly clear panels, service which reveals panels, and item change to randomly change panels. The page then details cheating techniques or ikasamawaza in the scenario mode, presenting 4 special moves: special command, used after dealing, allowing tile swapping; sure win stick, a reach stick guaranteeing a winning tile draw; cheater eye, allowing players to see opponents' tiles; and wire seesaw to swap drawn tiles with discarded tiles. Finally, Kokichan Smash is briefly mentioned as a special attack, showing screenshots of the game in action. This page is focused on the making mode and parts collection feature within a game, showcasing character customization options and announcing a Miss Making Character contest. The page details various character parts that can be collected in the game to customize characters, with points associated with each part. These parts are categorized under character names such as Tenno Mai from Un Pais, Mizuno Yuki from the shopping street, Milky Pie from the general hospital, Hayate Sayera from Janjan Girl headquarters, and Sakurai Miyuri from Kamiyota Park. The part categories include hair, clothes upper, clothes lower, shoes, body type, and skin color. The Miss Making Character Contest section announces a contest where players can submit their customized characters. Prizes include signed merchandise and character designs by Kenji Sonoda. To enter, players need to send a postcard with details of their character's parts, color choices, and reasons for their design. The deadline for entries is October 18th, and the results will be announced on October 27th. At the bottom of the page are screenshots highlighting in-game skills or actions like Milky Missile, Miracle Fire, Full Magic Release, and Miyuri's Request, suggesting these are special moves or game mechanics. This page announces the first flag-raising match tournament hosted by Tommy Entertainment for the Dreamcast game New Japan Pro Wrestling 2-Kon Retsuden 4. The tournament is scheduled for October 7th, 6 p.m. to October 10th, 6 p.m., open to edit wrestlers from each group. The rules involve online battles via the Exchange Battle venue from October 7th, 6 p.m., with communication battles until October 10th, 6 p.m. The wrestler ranked number 1 in the Exchange Battle rankings at 6 p.m. on October 10th will be the champion. The article highlights that this tournament emphasizes the reproduction of pro wrestling over just winning, awarding a championship flag, and a corner post actually used in the G1 Climax in August to the winner. It is mentioned that while ranking is used during the tournament, rankings before the event will not matter, encouraging players to aim for the top spot during the event itself. Participants are advised that communication battles are different from usual exchange battles. The event is described as a grand 3-day event, where players are encouraged to play intensely from the first day to avoid falling behind. The page shows screenshots of the game featuring wrestler character models and matches and menus. There's also a section detailing participation information and emphasizing a Golden Pro Wrestling Information Formation participation drive, hinting at in-game bonuses for participants, like special wrestling mats. This page reveals hidden elements in the wrestling game 2-Kon Retsuden 4. It announces the unlock conditions for hidden wrestlers like Antonio Inoki, Riki Choshu, Masa Saito, and Sasuke. To unlock these wrestlers, players need to complete specific challenge matches using certain wrestlers. Furthermore, the page unveils hidden commands, including one to switch the CPU wrestler's logic during exhibition matches. Another hidden feature is a secret referee appearance, triggered by specific analog stick inputs during the match start. The page highlights a featured match between Fujin Ritron and Reiji in Golden Pro Wrestling Ring, showcasing the game's intense wrestling action, with moves like the vertical drop tiger driver and pile driver, praising the game's realistic depiction of wrestling techniques. This page is dedicated to World Neverland Plus, Olrudo Kingdom Stories, a life simulation game, and it looks like a community page featuring player submissions and tips. There are sections detailing popular gathering spots in the game, illustrated with screenshots and player comments. One section is called My Daily Life and shows a typical in-game day with panels depicting daily routines and interactions. The article delves into strategies for making money, specifically through gambling, and discusses how to effectively use voting tickets to win. There's also a segment introducing user-submitted catchphrases for Wernaba, which seems to be a character or element within the game. The page concludes with a magazine PR corner, thanking readers for their contributions and advertising the World Neverland Perfect Guide and World Neverland 2 Perfect Guide books published by the PlayStation Books. It highlights that these guidebooks contain information not available within the game itself. This page is dedicated to reader submissions for the Old King Country Communication section in Dreamcast Magazine. It showcases reader-created 4-panel manga comics, categorized under humorous titles like Father's Dignity Collapse, Kori Nai Maiden, and Blue Car, each telling short, funny stories. The page also includes reader messages in Weekly Power and Mail Corner, sharing personal anecdotes and experiences related to games and life. One message mentions playing Old King Country and humorous heartbreak, while another talks about reading Dreamcast Magazine for the first time and reminiscing about their grandfather's PC. Instructions are provided on how to submit 4-panel manga, detailing size requirements, and the submission address for readers who want to contribute to the magazine. The page also features book covers for How to Walk in the Old King Country, likely strategy guides or supplementary materials related to the featured game or games within the magazine. Dreamcast Magazine's AM show coverage, titled Arcade Winter Era, highlights arcade games. Topics 1 features Samba de Amigo, Sega, a top rhythm game recommendation. Step Champ, Konami, praised for its immersive sound and gameplay. And Jumbo, Safari, Sega. Topics 2 re-emphasizes Step Champ, highlighting its foot panel controls, similar to Dance Dance Revolution. Topics 3 covers Outrigger's 360-degree action, Sega Tetris's classic revival, the Typing of the Dead's unique keyboard gameplay, and emergency call ambulances driving experience. Dreamcast Magazine editors recommend Sega's NAOMI arcade titles, many slated for Dreamcast releases, expressing excitement for the lineup. The article explores the potential of NAOMI arcade board games on the Dreamcast, highlighting the graphical power and excitement of bringing arcade experiences home. A NAOMI title appearance list showcases anticipated titles like Dead or Alive 2, Spawn in the Demon's Hand, and SNK vs. Capcom. Dead or Alive 2 is particularly anticipated for its stunning visuals, while Spawn is undergoing adjustments for console play. The article previews the Dream Tag Team broadcast of SNK vs. Capcom, showcasing iconic characters. The article also touches upon other arcade games such as Crane Zone, Strider Haryu 2, Gunpei, and Power Shovel. There are also some industry concerns regarding NAOMI's dominance and the potential obsolescence of rival arcade system boards. This page is a report from the AM Show 200X, focusing on arcade games. The main topic is sound games, with discussions about Konami's direction after Dance Dance Revolution and Beat Mania. There's talk about new genres like rap-based rhythm games, with opinions from Ume and TSU. The page highlights Konami developers doing a live performance featuring music from their games. Namco is also present, showcasing Jammer Lammy for arcades, similar to the PlayStation version. Jaleco is featured with Stepping Stage 2 Spreem, a stepping dance game, though opinions are mixed about its system and sound. The report also covers booths, including Uplight with Outrigger, goods and novelty items available, and Kami from Korea showcasing games. Overall, the page gives a snapshot of the arcade scene at the AM Show, emphasizing sound and rhythm games and new trends in the industry. The AM Show 99 report provides a manga-style overview of new arcade machine trends. New wave machines showcased attractions like a spinning tunnel, Wormhole Sea Curamenic, a prize game, Nailmore Atlas, and a dinosaur robot game, Dinosaur Robot Coco. New wave prize machines highlighted a shift beyond traditional UFO catchers, including the Disney-themed Disney Fan Square Sega and the Pikachu dancing game, Pikachu Dancing Chew. Prize figures, particularly from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Fist of the North Star, were also popular. Western games were scarce, with only 2 SNK titles mentioned. A news section noted the appearance and absence of New Voice. The review lauded Sega's dominant influence in the arcade world. Specific games, such as Konami's UFO, SNK's 9 Hoops 2, Melody Collection Gakon, and Star Wars Episode 1 Pinball were also noted. This page, NAOMI Whirlwind New Games Lineup, highlights upcoming arcade releases for the NAOMI platform. Screenshots showcase Sega Tetris, featuring a monkey playing Tetris on a beach, and Outrigger, a first-person shooter. The lineup includes titles like The House of the Dead 2, Crazy Taxi, Power Stone, Dynamite Baseball Naomi I, and Sega Tetris. Many games are slated for Dreamcast ports, including The House of the Dead 2, Power Stone, Zombie Revenge, and Sega Tetris, Autumn 1999. Outrigger and Jumbo Safari are specified as Dreamcast originals. The list also mentions Puyo Puyo Da, Winter Dreamcast port, and Typing of the Dead, 2000 Dreamcast port. This page is a preview for Sega Tetris on Dreamcast, boasting its full polygon graphics and connection to the NAOMI arcade board. A message from Sega's R&D department announces this as a revival of Tetris after 11 years, taking advantage of NAOMI technology and offering new features. The game features a single-player Hitatsura mode where players can endlessly play, and introduces a slot system element. Screenshots show backgrounds like Shibuya for this mode. The original Tetris gameplay is retained in the original Taste mode. A 4-player battle mode allows for lively multiplayer battles with simultaneous play. It's mentioned that attack patterns change based on how blocks are cleared, and animal characters are featured. Screenshots display backgrounds like Venice for the battle mode. The backgrounds are also said to change as players level up, creating a world tour theme. The page ends with a message to wait for more news. This page is dedicated to Outrigger, highlighting the skills required for the game, specifically TH.02. The focus is on the one-player mode, specifically the latter half of the game. It mentions that the initial part of the 1P mode was about sight control with the eyeball and shooting training, but the latter half is designed as actual combat training against computer-controlled enemies on maps used for versus play. Mission 4, titled Close Range Battle Training 02, emphasizes using obstacles and covers for evasion. This stage, set in the Colosseum, requires players to defeat 12 terrorist enemies. Players are encouraged to utilize obstacles as cover from enemy fire and to collect power-up items, which are crucial. These power-ups significantly enhance weapon performance, making them essential for success. For example, machine guns get a boost to their rapid-fire capability, hand grenades get increased range, and rocket launchers gain both increased power and firing rate. The screenshots illustrate in-game combat, the use of cover, and the appearance of power-up items. It emphasizes that collecting power-up items can turn the tide of battle and is a key strategy in Outrigger. This page introduces beginner-friendly stages in Outrigger, highlighting 3 maps: Colosseum, Observatory, and Icefield. The Colosseum is described as resembling an ancient arena with many hiding spots. The Observatory is a circular stage inspired by an observatory, easy for beginners to navigate. The Icefield is a stage set in a cold, snowy harbor with a central sunken ship, designed to be enjoyable for all players. Mission 5, titled Close Quarters Combat Training 03, is set in a station map and emphasizes understanding the map layout to avoid being caught from behind. The stage has central open areas with trains and cargo for cover along the sides. Players are encouraged to use sidestepping to evade enemy attacks. Mission 6, Comprehensive Combat Training, is the final 1P mode training mission where you fight against 4 training soldiers instead of terrorists. These soldiers have different health and weapon characteristics compared to terrorists, requiring continuous attacks to defeat them. The mission focuses on learning to connect consecutive hits to ensure victory. The SkillZ editorial afterwards section mentions the successful AM show debut of Outrigger and the ongoing development towards completion. It also reveals that 12 maps are being created for versus battles, and that the next issue will showcase all of them. This page showcases the AM Show 2000 prize debuts, highlighting various prizes that will be available in amusement centers during September and October. The Disney Fan Square is being launched in 17 amusement centers across the country, featuring a range of Disney character prizes, including plush toys and items from Winnie the Pooh, Mickey and Minnie Mouse, 101 Dalmatians, and even Nightmare Before Christmas. Sonic Adventure Super Jumbo plush toys are also featured as prizes. The page advertises these prizes as part of the Sega prize lineup for the year 2000. This page is all about new prize merchandise available in September and October. Featured are plush toys for Morinaga Snack Otto and Totomaru characters, Momotaro series, and Calimero. You can also get your hands on 3-minute game timers and Pangel's World denim pouches. Dreamcast Magazine is also running a giveaway where 3 lucky readers can win sets of these marked prizes by sending in a postcard by October 8th to the provided address. The page lists a wide variety of prizes available in arcades, including character goods and game-related items, and also includes a comic strip section titled Koni and Taki-chan's Prize Garden Volume 7, which is themed around these prize items. The next page is about the Giant Graham Game Tournament event called Giant Graham Tournament Carnival. The event is presented as a chance to win a champion belt. The tournament features various modes like VM Battle Mode, Technical Department, Comic Department, and Giant Carnival Department. A final battle decision tournament is scheduled for October 3rd. The event spans multiple days from September 24th to October 2nd for preliminary rounds and sign-ups. The venues are Shinjuku Sportsland and Portland West. Entry fee is 100 yen, and counters are open until 12 p.m. Participants are encouraged to bring VM, visual memory units. This page is a horoscope section titled Weekly Dreamcastrology. It provides weekly fortune readings for each zodiac sign, giving advice and outlining lucky colors and items. It's presented in a fun, illustrated style with separate sections for men and women, giving insights into different aspects of their week like love, work, and health. There are no games or screenshots featured on this page. This page is an advertisement for reader presents from Dreamcast Magazine. There are 4 prize categories to win by answering a questionnaire. The first prize is Dreamcast-compatible software, with 20 winners selected. The second prize is a Puyo Puyo plush toy set for 10 winners. The third prize is a Sega Prize clear file set for 5 winners. And the final prize is a Sakura Wars 2 plush toy set with 8 winners selected. The advertisement also lists upcoming articles in the next issue covering games such as Crazy Taxi, Eternal Arcadia, known as Skies of Arcadia internationally, Soul Calibur, and New Japan Pro Wrestling 2-Con Retsuden 4. The page also includes staff credits and contact information for the magazine. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game ESPIONAGENTS Industrial Agents for Active Espionage from NEC, described as a new industrial spy simulation game. In this game, you become the boss of an industrial spy team and command 7 subordinates. You'll handle various requests from clients. A key feature highlighted is the parallel sight screen, allowing simultaneous display of 4 screens so you can monitor and direct the actions of 4 subordinates at once as situations change and accidents unfold. The goal is to give accurate instructions and lead your team to operational success. The game is currently on sale and priced at 5,800 yen. There is also a website listed for more information. The page also includes sections for exhibition, promoting new works, amateur creations, and unreleased videos which are hosted on a website. For Turb fans, it mentions there are many cute characters and rare goods available, and it directs readers to a shop area. Finally, there's an events section advertising the Battlefield Turb Festival, starting October 1st, 1999, with the tagline, "From a single memory, an eternal message connects." It mentions Neko Army Commander and others, and growing upright cat ears, alongside a picture of characters, seemingly related to the Turb game. There is also an internet number listed, and a website for more details about internet number services. This page is an advertisement for the game Black Matrix A/D on Dreamcast, scheduled for release on September 30th. Published by NEC Interchannel, the game will come on 2 discs and will retail for 6,800 yen. The advert also highlights the upcoming Tokyo Game Show and a rush of new titles.